Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, February the 20th, 2020. It is another Technical Alpha podcast. And Mr. Black, I don't know what the exact starting date was for this podcast, but there are people popping in here on their 36th month as subs.
36?
3 years.
I see 26.
There was 36 up higher. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Whoa!
Yeah.
It's been 3 years?
Minimum. 3 years and a bit.
It really doesn't feel... I would have said 2.
Yeah, it feels like 2.
3?
It doesn't feel like 3.
Yikes, dog. Yikes.
Yikes is fucking right.
We're still going.
We're still going. And you know what? On iTunes, I checked the other day because M has an iPhone and I don't have any Apple products in the house, so I never really look at iTunes. I get to look at some review. We actually have a couple of recent reviews that happened.
Really?
We convinced at least 2 people recently to write reviews. We've got like 120 or 130, and there's still that one motherfucker 4-star.
Yeah, they just...
And everyone else is 5.
Hey.
The nice thing to see, though, was there were a couple of good reviews that weren't just people that were Starcraft community people. Because so many of the reviews mentioned, like, I've been watching these guys since Starcraft. I've been watching these guys since... There's some people who were just...
They just heard it.
Organically found the podcast and reviewed it.
Gotta like that.
Which I was happy about.
Shoutouts to those organic reviewing motherfuckers out there.
What else makes things organically grow, Jeff? Hitting the button that has a...
Oh, like button. Hit the like button, bro. I am...
Bro, that ice cream and the apple crisp is hitting you hard right now. You got that sugar rush.
Adam showed up. I was passed out on the sofa.
Passed out for sure.
I've been up since about 6:30 in the morning.
Just crushing a nap.
Went over to a rental property that I put an offer on, and it got accepted. So this morning was inspection day.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I went over there and was over there with the inspector. Everything looks good. Couple of small things, but nothing major at all. So everything went good. So I'm just waiting for the report that'll come in.
Roof was good. Windows are good.
Yeah, everything is good. Roof was done 8 years ago, so it got redone.
How old's the place?
It's like 56 years old, I think.
Holy smokes, it's getting up there. So no asbestos in anything.
No.
Because 56 would be just on the cusp.
Yep, no asbestos. They redid the roof 8 years ago, redid all the windows 5 years ago.
Did they ever install, not like full-blown HVAC, but like a downstairs, upstairs air exchange or anything at any point?
No, it's still an older house, so it's like it's basically it's on one big furnace.
Okay.
So when you heat upstairs, it heats downstairs.
But there's no like fresh air return. There's no anything.
Oh,
like
there
that.
is.
Is
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there
they
is.
put that in.
Yeah. There's a big. You can see. There's a big
that,
vent.
that air of home they never had.
Yeah. No.
They're like, open the fucking windows. You want some fresh air?
No. There's there's one on each floor.
Yeah, so it's like my parents' place, like an exhaust on top and
bottom.
Yeah.
Yep. Both units got washer and dryers in them.
Nice.
Separate entrances, separate numbers.
Fabulous.
Paved
so all
driveway.
the work was basically done for you. You just showed up.
Well, it was good because one, I got it private,
Yeah.
so I saved a bunch of money.
Of course.
And then not only that, it was in the family.
Yeah.
So, the previous owner, my uncle, he had passed away years ago. And so his daughter, who inherited the home, rather sold it to me to kind of keep the house in the family to some degree than just some random, right? So that worked out nice, and
it's also nice that you know the previous owner, so you know what was done to the house.
Exactly,
you know everything.
So it was good and bad. So the bad thing that happened to the house like a year ago is the basement flooded.
Oh no!
And it flooded because of the city. The city had fucked up the pipes.
What?
And there was like it overflowed. So, but the good news is once they removed the tenant from there, the city paid for everything. So they they remodeled the whole basement, and nobody's moved in yet.
You know the city fucked up bad if the city's paying for a reno.
Yeah, well, they did it through their insurance or whatever, right? The city,
keep telling that because I got to turn this light on.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, that's right.
Which is, by the way,
at the very top, Elgato Lighting.
Got that one. There you go.
Yo, go hit up. Hey, I never screw up with the sponsors. Come on now. Right, it's at the very top. Yeah, just click that bad boy. You guys are gonna see the lighting come up here.
Oh, that way.
Yeah, there you go. And it'll and then it should turn yellowish light. There you go. So anyway, I don't even know where I was at, but oh yeah, the flood. So it ended up flooding, and everything was redone in the basement, and nobody's lived there yet. So the basement unit is empty,
fresh.
So I need to rent that out, but that won't be a problem here.
No.
And then the people that live upstairs, they're severely under rent, because when she moved out, she got her own place, and she just gave it to a family member to like live up there just to pay the mortgage, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So this person is literally $400 under market value, just kind of. And everything's included for her. Everything. Heat, water, internet, cable. This girl is literally living. She hates me right now.
Living the dream.
She actually hates me right now because I'm coming in. I'm coming in and I gotta treat it like a business.
Yeah. See you bye to all that extra shit.
Yeah, she already gave her notice. She's gonna be out end of next month. So anyway, the deal is, I don't want to jinx anything because the deal isn't like completely through, but it should be concrete by Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
And then we close mid next month.
I somehow doubt that anything is going to show up.
We'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
We'll be fine. So anyway, that's what I did this morning.
Spectacular.
Other than that, I tried to muster up the energy to like stream for an hour and a half before the podcast so I could host something over.
How'd that go?
It didn't go well.
There you go.
I pretty much got home.
Yep.
I went down to my office, booted everything up.
Thought about it for 3 seconds?
Thought about it for about 5 seconds.
Okay.
And then stared at the monitor and realized I have no energy whatsoever to do this. And for an hour and a half, it just wasn't happening.
That's fine.
And then I was like, yeah, whatever. So I just did some more paperwork, sent some stuff out to some banks and my lawyer, and had a few voiceovers come in. So that's what I'm going to do after this. But other than that, chilling. That's been my day.
Like a hero.
How's your day?
I mean, my day wasn't nearly as jam packed as yours. My normal Thursday is literally I wake up, I eat. If Em is there, I make us breakfast. I go downstairs, I do the podcast script and list, and then we leave and come here. And that's how the opening part of my day. Because I always wait for Thursday because I used to do the podcast list on like Wednesday night. And then I got tired of waking up Thursday and having like 15
more
news articles roll through that would like supersede anything I had in there from Wednesday. Yeah. So now I just got wise about it, and I wait until almost an hour before I have to leave, so that I've maximized what stupid shit is going to happen on Thursday that's going to pop up.
Smart.
And we always get it. So we get that, and that's it. So my Thursdays are usually just podcast until I get home. But my week was just. It was another week. Brian, unfortunately, Brina separated with his girlfriend here last week, and so we put the Shitty Games Done Slow in a bit of a hiatus while he sorted through that and work on his own little project, keep himself preoccupied. He's working on that crazy cockpit, and that's coming along quite nicely. And so I've been playing. I've been doing just
Apex
offline work
Legends.
and then playing Apex at night. Yeah. Basically is it. It's like I'm doing offline work in the day, or in this last week I've been out a lot with them in the afternoons doing like errands and shit, and then I do Apex at night. And Apex is simultaneously in a great place and also like I don't know how to describe Apex, but to say that
it's
Apex. It is a mixture of AAA and then
PUBG.
And then question marks as to like how some things could come to pass. So it's by far the smoothest game I've ever played my entire life. And the only thing I can think of that might run smoother than this game would be like Quake and that's about
Quake.
it.
Yeah.
Quake. And it does so impressively because the game looks really fucking good. And then you put it into you put it under the umbrella of a battle royale, with how many players are on the map and the size of the map, and then you appreciate how smooth it runs and how good it looks even more. But then the audio happens and you go,
what the fuck?
Yeah. What is even happening here? Who did they hire and how fast can they fire them to bring in somebody who knows how to do audio? Because you will have guys unloading in your face with full auto assault rifles 3 to 5 feet away from you. And it sounds like a wet queef that's happening 2 kilometers away. I mean, you barely hear anything. It's so bad that a guy can walk up behind you. You will hear nothing, and they could get through half a magazine before you realize you're even being shot because the audio hasn't given you any clues. And then you fire your own gun, and you're deaf. And so it's like you want to turn the audio up to make up for the fact that everything else sounds like a wet queef from 2 kilometers away, but then you go deaf every time you fire your own gun.
Them wet queefs.
It's bad.
Them wet queefs, though.
And the positional audio for footsteps is by far the worst in any, and I mean any battle royale I've ever played. Doesn't matter if it was Realm Royale, PUBG, or otherwise. If there's one thing PUBG does better than everyone else, it's positional audio. The level of the audio might be a little fucking weird sometimes, but the positional audio is good. Apex, you cannot rely. You must well be listening to music in the background the whole time.
Why
because
not?
audio means almost nothing. Other than that, I've been enjoying it, been having a pretty good time with it, and I'm
surprised you haven't jumped in on the EFT the EFT hype.
The fuck is EFT?
You know, the fucking Escape from Tarkov.
Is that what? I never saw that acronym be used.
You've
before.
never seen EFT?
No, everyone always just calls it Tarkov in my chat.
Damn, it's
Yeah.
EFT everywhere. I see.
Oh, it probably is.
Yeah.
It's just when people mention it in my chat, which is about the only place I ever see it.
Okay.
It's just Tarkov. They just
I'm
call
surprised
it
you
Tarkov.
haven't hopped on that train because it's very slow and methodical.
It's
and very
it's
unforgiving.
It's the closest to PUBG, right? In terms of
It's dark.
gunplay.
It's Dark Souls PUBG edition, bro.
Kind of, yeah.
It's actually what it is.
But it's too slow for me, too methodical for me. And
have you played it?
No, but I've watched a fair amount of it. I've watched.
Try it. One thing that I do
lot
like
of it.
about it, and I play like maybe once a week, like just off stream with a couple guys. Is it's rewarding, and it gets your blood going. It's like high octane, but it's like when things are slow, it doesn't feel slow because you're so on edge that you're in this constant state of.
That's also part of why I don't play it. Is that I don't.
It's literally it.
If I'm streaming a game for 6 to 8 hours and it's going to make me this the whole time, it's like watching Uncut Gems, but for 8 straight hours.
Yeah.
I'd just die.
Well, the good news
is
there's quite a bit of downtime in between games because you're like going through your loot and fucking switching in different things. And
I'm surprised it does as well as it does in streaming because there is so much downtime. Even when you're in a match, there's a fair amount of just nothing happening. But there is something that viewers enjoy watching about it, and I may play it in the future. For sure.
fucks with that more than I fucks with Apex or
Apex
PUBG.
has some really fucking whack balance issues right now, and I don't mean that like lightly. I mean, I can't think of a single game that I have won if I had to go up against a Gibraltar.
Isn't he like the super tanky guy?
Gibraltar's the guy, yeah. So Gibraltar is the sum total of about every useful ultimate in the game in one character.
Sweet.
With added bonus of having a higher health pool.
Oh, there you go.
So
it's a win-win.
A higher health pool, a personal shield whenever he aims down sight that has a shield first. So you have to break through that. Then you get to his actual armor that he's wearing. Then he has a bubble shield that he puts for everyone else on his team. Then on top of that, he has Bangalore's ult, which is like an airstrike, except it happens in like 2 seconds instead of 7 seconds.
So he's
Bangalore's.
good. So he's good.
But also,
there's more.
When that ult hits you, it basically kills your shield's purple down to 0 in 1 hit, kills you in about 3 hits, while also stunning and slowing you the exact same way as Bangalore's does, except Bangalore's does like 1/10 the fucking damage. So I he's good inside, outside, early game, late game, with a team, without a team. If you're by yourself as a Gib and you're in the late game, and let's say it's two teams fighting at the end and it's the last three squads, it's you by yourself, your teammates are dead. There's two squads. If you have your ult, you can actually just win the game. If they're fighting close quarters enough, which often the end game is that, you ult in their general direction and you just win games.
Hey, it's the dream.
So there's some broken shit going on. However, I've been having a pretty good time. And yeah, Foxy just mentioned, like I was mentioning the audio, I literally was listening to the Democratic debate last night when I won a game.
Perfect.
That tells you how important the audio is. And I did 2,000 damage in that game.
You want to know what's really important? Hitting that like button.
Twice. 3 times, actually, because the twice would be unlike.
Yeah,
so 3 times.
Don't hit it twice. Hit it once, but if you're going to...
An odd number of times.
Yes, if you want to finger bang it, you can do 3, 5, 7, 9, 11.
Keep it odd.
Just keep it odd so that
right.
that like continues.
That was
do we
my
got?
week.
What do we got in gaming?
We got some stuff. I mean, I dragged that on a little bit because, honestly, this week has been pretty slow. But with some stuff that, as always, you and I, we can drag it out if we need to.
Hey, or we could just not drag it out.
Well, I don't mean like 3.5 hours drag it out.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
All
crazy or
All
anything.
right, yeah.
Getting my headphones, Jeff. We're starting it right off with some video. By the way, I apologize again. Last week, the VR segment that we did with the lady that was revisiting.
Copyright.
For the first time ever in the 10 years we've been on YouTube, with or without copyrighted stuff in there if we were doing it for commentary or otherwise. First time ever that somebody didn't just claim it for revenue, they blocked it globally.
Boom.
You could not put the entire podcast up for 49 seconds of that 10-minute video that we were doing commentary over, which is so far inside the bounds of fair use that it's not even funny. We're not dead center.
They wanted to make sure that their little setup of bringing some child back to life was getting the views on their video and nobody else's.
Fucking wild. So we cut out the 49 seconds.
They're in it for the money, buddy.
Yeah,
it's
NBC. It's a Korean media conglomerate that does like
the Korean
some K-pop shit.
Yeah, they can go lick my left testy.
They can suck my virtual nuts
straight
and
up,
my real nuts
straight up.
And then when I'm dead, you can bring them back in VR and suck them again. All right, StarCraft Ghost. So if for those of you who don't remember this, because maybe you're just too young, StarCraft Ghost was a game that was announced. I mean, my God, early 2000s?
StarCraft Ghost?
Like 2003, 2004.
Was it that long ago?
Somewhere in there,
okay.
I want to say. And then it got announced and talked about, and then we saw very scant anything about it, and then it got delayed, and then it just disappeared. It just disappeared. It was indefinitely put on hold, and then people just stopped talking about it. And so... there was an ad on the Warcraft 3 CD for StarCraft Ghost. Yeah, that was wild.
There you go.
So that would make it 2003, I think. So we have footage that got leaked of StarCraft Ghost, as well as a dev build of the game that got leaked on 4chan that is now being downloaded, obviously, several times. And so I suspect we're going to learn lots as people dissect the hell out of whatever this is. But we have some video here that will probably end up getting us blocked globally again, that we're going to watch some snippets of and do commentary over within the confines of fair use.
I don't think Blizzard will fucking...
It's not even Blizzard's video. That's why it will be blocked. It's some random dude that has 30 subscribers, but this video has 300 and something thousand views.
He's getting his views in.
He's getting his views in. No conversion on the subs, though.
Okay.
Salty about the lack of conversion on those subs.
Just make that money quick and get out. Make your $300-400 and bounce.
I'll at least tell you who the guy is, just to be fair. We've got it's Delso Becerra, 79 subs with 320,000 views on this video.
So this is the game here.
So we'll skip around a bit, but
Adjutant, patch me through to the Bucephalus.
Immediately. StarCraft vibes, talking to the adjutant. Visually not a bad-looking game
Who
for the
leaked
time.
this?
Probably Blizzard.
Yeah.
Like, please stop talking about Warcraft.
This gameplay reminds me of
This is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is what everyone thought it was going to be at the time anyway, because in that era, like 2003, that was like Splinter Cell was just coming out, it was popular.
Oh, look at the aim. Oh.
All right, well, that was painful. Don't judge the game based on this horrible aim.
B. What system?
Searching. This is Xbox.
Xbox, huh? It kind of does look like an Xbox game.
It does. I think it looks good.
Dude.
2003 for a console game?
This guy has never used a controller before. He is struggling.
No, never once.
He's used to PC.
Yeah.
So is the full game leaked?
No, just whatever dev build they had. So whatever I have no idea the level of completion that would be. I have no idea like what it will entail, but it would contain the vast majority of the assets and things like that. People will pick it apart, I'm sure.
Or build their own version?
Use the PlayStation Dream to there you go, you figured out her name. But this is basically just some run and gun stuff. I don't even know in this build how much like there's actual like the missions work. Like I don't know if there's like how much interaction exists.
Mm.
Damn, the entire
This is Infested Terrans.
Yeah. So there you go. So that was a little look at the footage that's out. That for now, there's probably going to be more, and then again some in-depth look at it. I'm sure somebody's going to pick the ever-living shit apart.
Oh, for sure.
Out of it, and we will learn more. But interesting. I mean, that's a game that I know. I at the time was very interested in because again, Splinter Cell was very popular at the time. That style of kind of the stealth action gameplay was kind of at its peak. And I always loved Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell 1 and 2 I thought were dope games. I was always sad when we didn't get more of that. We have gotten obviously some here in more recent times, but yeah, I don't. What do you think? Should they have gone ahead based on what you just saw there? Should they have gone ahead and completed StarCraft Ghost, or was it a good idea that they buried that bitch 16 feet deep?
In terms of like gameplay footage, like if I'm putting myself back in like the early 2000s, it looked good. Like it looked fine. It looked playable. But I think the reality is nobody asked for it. And I think StarCraft is one of those games that needed to stay RTS. It was already sort of a niche game to begin with. Yeah, sure, it's a big game, but when I say niche, I mean that in like.
Well, the genre, even when it was popular, was not the
most popular genre.
Titan of the genres.
No.
No.
So now you're gonna do a spin-off and you're gonna kind of jump into into a different type of genre on the backs of a character and an IP that the majority of people don't know about. The only thing that they could do is use the Blizzard name. I mean, when was the last time, like back in the day, would that have been their first console game since StarCraft 64?
Yes.
You know, Blizzard, I think they should stick with PC. I think they, I think they made the right decision. It probably would have been something they would have lost money on. And but you know,
at the time, at the time, and I agree with that because at the time, PC gaming was, it was like PC gaming was still lending itself to a very specific set of genres, and only a handful of titles that were console games that made it to the PC as well, or were PC going to console. Because PCs were just expensive as fuck.
Yeah,
like they're still expensive now, but you can easily
super expensive.
You can easily enter into a PC gaming market right now without spending a hell of a lot more than buying a console.
Yeah.
Maybe $200 or $300 more, and you're getting a better version of what you would with the consoles. But not only that, that's possible because so many games are being developed for the PC.
Yeah.
And that's also been helped by the fact that PC and consoles are now working within the same x86 architecture, and so porting is a million times easier.
Yeah.
And so at the time, yeah, you're right. Like you were saying, Blizzard's always been on a PC hype. Not always. I mean, its early game days were consoles, but it's bread and butter.
Yeah.
It's PC gaming.
I mean, it's not Super Nintendo days anymore.
It's not Super Nintendo days anymore.
Yeah,
No.
Blizzard, I don't even think that their name would have held all that much weight in a different world, in the console world.
Yeah.
Like, to make up for the fact that nobody really knows or cares about what StarCraft is. And to be honest with you, it's such a lackluster game and an idea that I believe that even StarCraft diehards and fans of RTS wouldn't even have guaranteed a purchase.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't even hook in your main demographic, and let's be real, people that play StarCraft were diehard and still are diehard StarCraft players. Yeah. I could guarantee you there would be a fairly large percentage of people that would have no interest, zero interest whatsoever in buying StarCraft Ghost.
Yeah.
Just from what it looks like, because it's so different from what they're used to.
Yeah.
And the mentality also of a StarCraft player and a competitive esport player is, I only can play one game. It's like when you play WoW or you play RuneScape or you play StarCraft or you play
I only got
time for one. That's it, man. My time after school, my time after work, I'm training to become, a pro or whatever the case may be. You only got time in your life for one motherfucking purpose, and it's grinding that game.
Yeah.
So to even get StarCraft players to want to take the time out, spend the money, maybe even buy a console, because then you're also talking about people that might not even be console gamers. They'll literally just be PC folks, right? So I think ultimately, dude, I think they made the right decision.
Yeah.
But as a fan of StarCraft, I would have liked to have seen it come out, especially now when I'm seeing what it looks like. It intrigues me a little bit.
What if they were releasing this for a
phone.
two-prong?
That's come out for the phone.
Two-prong attack, Jeff. Two-prong. On one, please God, stop talking about Warcraft 3 Reforged. And two, let's see if the market now, after seeing this, if there's interest in this game, because now we can put it on the PC, because this type of game lives on the PC, and we could make it using the StarCraft engine that exists now, use our assets that exist now, and maybe turn out a game in a reasonable amount of time that may generate some interest in a brand of StarCraft that they can't make much money on anymore.
I think they'd have to go mobile. I think it'd have to be StarCraft Ghost on the phone, no PC. It could even look very similar to what that looked like, and it would still...
It would look better than that.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It would look exceptionally better. But, I think that type of game right now for my phone, that's something I'd download for $10 and play it.
Yeah.
PC-wise, you want to release that for $39.99? There isn't a fucking chance in all of hell.
I don't mean releasing this, but taking the idea, scrapping all of that, but and building a new game and just calling it StarCraft Ghost.
No, ain't working.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that either. I mean, I know that the stealth action genre is relatively lucrative insofar as that the Hitman franchise has done extraordinarily well here recently in the last few years.
Yeah.
Where they keep churning out content and it's getting bought up significantly.
Yeah.
And we have seen the newer Tom Clancy games do very well as well.
We ain't getting nothing creative out of Blizzard ever again. It's ogre. It's all ogre.
It's a pipe dream.
It's dead, bro.
I think it makes sense I think it makes sense though. Like if they're going to put a small team on this, use what they have available to them to get more money out of the StarCraft license that they are sitting on right now, because the StarCraft game itself ain't it. They're not going to make any real money on StarCraft anymore. In fact, they just spent a whole bunch of money just to separate themselves from that version of StarCraft.
Yeah.
That it would be sensible to do something like this.
I'm not sold on it, but hey, that looked cool for
But,
for what it was back in the day. Rest in peace, StarCraft Ghost.
Rip StarCraft Ghost. Sony is closing the official PlayStation forums as well as their mobile Xperia forums, etc. So, like company-wide, Sony is axing all of their forums, and then support is just going to have to be found elsewhere. I guess the general idea from them has been that in the world of social media, forums are not useful anymore, or nobody's using forums anymore, which is I don't agree with that at all. I don't even use forums that much, but when I do, especially when they're official forums, like the Sony's official forum or like the official forum for a game or something like that, they're hella fucking busy because it's got to be one of the most useful tools because it allows for users to aid other users with technical problems without even the intervention of the company.
Yeah.
You don't see that shit happening on social media. You don't go to Twitter or you don't search Google and you don't get like a tweet that comes up that answers the problem that you have.
Yeah.
It's a forum post that somebody made from 5 years ago.
Yeah, and there's people
and it's
have
an
answered.
answer.
Yeah.
And you use it and it's relative or relevant. And so I think it's crazy at the bare minimum because it alleviates some of the people trying to go directly to them all the time.
Saves them
for
money.
And I just don't see the thought process of it, and I still don't I don't agree with the fact that nobody uses forums. Forums are still super fucking active on the internet for that very reason. They're long form.
Yeah.
Social media is not long form. You want to do anything long form in a discussion within a community, a forum is the place to do it.
Yeah.
That's where you go to do that shit.
Hey, somebody out there wants to make some money. Make a website dedicated to helping Sony people out. Make your own forum and make your own official place where people can ask questions and get answers and you might be the only one out there. I just think mostly, honestly, I think probably the reason why is like people will just use Reddit. I think they'll be like, I think they're banking on other people doing their job for them.
Well, that's what it is, and they don't want to pay for operating the forum.
And they also have to keep an eye on the forums because you don't know what people are posting. You know, you saw it with Blizzard with refunding money.
Well,
those type of things where people are like, hey, motherfuckers.
It also gives the cynical person would look at this and go, okay, well, partially it's because they don't want to have to moderate the forums for the general reasons of moderating a forum. But then a cynical person would say that it might be more than that, where it's we don't want to have people on our official forums shitting all over our products.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Keep the negativity off the forum.
Negativity off of our brand's forums.
When you go and Google, hey, my game keeps freezing, and then on Google the first search place is like an official forum on their website. Not a good look.
No,
it's not a good look.
It's not a good look. But then the question, the thing that I would, if I'm heading up the company or I'm in management and I look at this and I go, okay, well, yeah, we can get rid of this, but what are we doing here? Not everyone that has an issue on the forum is making shit up.
That's true.
So we're just are we just going to ignore that we have some problems? Are we just going to get rid of this forum so that we can bury our fucking heads collectively in the sand and just march on and be like, yeah, we're fucking dope when we're not?
I don't agree with this. I think it's fucking stupid. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think they should leave forums up there and
I like Reddit. When I look for any kind of help and whatnot, Reddit is probably about 30% of what shows up. The vast majority of the time, it's on an official forum somewhere that somebody's posted it because it makes fucking sense.
Yep.
So I don't like it. I think the reasoning is poor. But
it is what it is.
As the saying goes.
As the saying goes.
You know what else is what it is? Atlas continues to not learn how video game culture works on the internet in the year of our Lord 2020, Jeff. I don't know if you remember this, but when Atlas released Persona 5, they had a very fucking specific rule set for streaming the game.
They had a homeowners association of streaming for their game.
Putting up like screenshots, anything. Like it was so fucking, and it's the only company who has ever done anything remotely like that. And this is going to sound super racist, but it's the fucking Japanese developers always have the weirdest shit for all of their games
that
like
doesn't
this.
sound racist.
It
is what it is. They're behind on the times, bro.
I don't know what it is about Japanese developers. I don't know if it's a cultural thing or what, but it's like they think that they live inside of a fucking vacuum and they want to sell their games and have them be popular everywhere in the world, but they want to like somehow do that on their terms.
Yeah.
and not the terms in which selling it in other countries, how media is consumed, and how you become even more successful in those other countries. It's like they only want it to happen.
Well, that's it.
Like it happened in 1967.
Yes, you've literally solved the Rubik's Cube. That's just, they are quite literally taking global marketing for their own backyard, and they're expecting everybody to consume the way that
only the way that they want it to be
That's the only way they
consumed.
consume.
So, when they did that for Persona 5, eventually they had to backpedal a bit because the internet quite literally reamed them for it.
Yeah, rightfully so.
And the shitty part was it was Atlas Japan that was making the decisions, and everyone in North America, of course, their only point of contact is the North American Atlas, who does the localization and stuff like that, but they make zero decisions, and they were caught in the middle of the users and the Japanese headquarters while they're over here dealing with all this shitstorm. And all I can say is, guys, we didn't
have
make
nothing
these
to do
rules.
with this.
All we can say is that it's
sorry.
We can't do anything about it. Like we're sorry, but we can't.
Yeah, our hands are tied.
And their handling of it was just so bad. And then they finally backpedaled a bit, eased it, and then in the end, it's like they never enforced half the shit anyway. Like I never heard of anyone getting DMCA'd or whatever the fuck. It's like it never happened. So I don't know if they, like, after all that fire happened, they went, ooh, if we do this, if we actually go after somebody, what's that really going to result in? But at the same time, I don't even know.
It's like a scare tactic, man. That's what it was.
It's like saber rattling.
Yeah. That's all.
But again, they're doing it again. Persona 5. Scramble, the Phantom Strikers. I don't know what the fuck this is, if it's like a sports spinoff or whatever the fuck. They milked the shit out of Persona 5, and they got Persona 5 Royal coming soon as well. Has got another nice little 10 commandments, God given to Moses to carve into stone and scream from the mountaintops. Jeff, you ready for these?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hit me with them.
Uploading screenshots or videos requires you to use the console's own capture and share functions. Atlas will not allow screenshots or video captured via personal capture cards. Only upload videos to sites supported by the sharing features on Switch and PS4. If you are showing event scenes or story scenes, you must clearly mention that there are spoilers. Footage and screenshots should also show the Atlas, Sega, Koei Tecmo games, all rights reserved. Do not use the gameplay footage for any other purpose other than showing gameplay. Do not only upload the BGM and music data or use gameplay footage for the main purpose of listening to the music. Uploading gameplay to sites that require subscription services or payments to browse is counted as using gameplay for monetary purposes. Do not use the gameplay footage to slander other people. If Atlas requests you to remove the video, please remove the video. Videos that Atlas deem are unacceptable will be deleted or taken off from the viewing. Queries into this matter may or may not be answered by Atlas. If the streaming or uploading of gameplay leads to monetary loss, Atlas does not hold any responsibility, nor will they pay any monetary compensation. And finally, players are not allowed to share anything about the game's endgame or anything afterwards.
I got a hot take, bro.
Hit me.
They're doing all this for a shit game no one gives a fuck about. There's my hot take. There's my motherfucking hot take. This ain't a motherfucking Rockstar release. This isn't a goddamn Call of Duty. This isn't a fucking... This is Persona 5. Let's keep it 100. They need every fucking goddamn eyeball. It is like they're forcing their game to continue to be this small.
If you want to talk about niche, the Shin Megami Tensei games and the Persona games in particular are
they're a niche
as
of a niche,
close
bruh.
to niche as you could possibly fucking get, for as dope as the art and everything about them are, and as good as those games are. They are ultra niche. Hyper fucking niche. And if you're going to do that and go out into the world knowing that already, and then put this kind of shit out that's going to hamper the spreading of the love by your niche community to show other people the game and be positive about it, you're fucking high. You're literally living 50 years in the fucking past.
Yeah, it smells like
Smells like Japan, Jeff.
Yeah, it smells like some uptight fucking movie director with a stick up his ass.
That's the Japanese
where he goes,
businessman.
where he or she goes, hey, this movie is only going to be showed at the most prestigious viewings, theaters in certain parts of the world, where we're going to do some invite only. We're the ins of the ins. I don't want my shit in any Cineplex. I don't want my shit in any main chains.
I want it in privately owned, old-style theater.
That's it.
Stadium seating.
That's it.
Up and bottom row, and I want specifically people to be dressed in period costumes.
Yes.
So as to look like this is the dawn of the cinematic experience. And I want at least one old white rich man murdered in a balcony.
That's actually what
minimum.
That's what this is. That's a great analogy. That's what they're doing. Why? If you got a great game, why not have the world see it? Do they not understand how the fucking world works now in video games?
Yes.
Where if you literally show off how amazing your game is, guess what? More people buy it. We are trained as gamers in 2020.
Yeah.
That we are not concerned about spoilers on a video game. We know they exist. If we want to go and see what the fuck happens, we know exactly where to go.
Yes.
We know exactly where to look, and we'll consume that. If we don't go near it. We just fucking play the game. Nobody's that interested in your cock-sucking game that they're going to go, oh, I'm going to go ahead and record this footage and put it up on YouTube and show it to the world. And even if they did, the only fucks that would care about it are the ones that'll click on the goddamn thing to watch it.
You have to go out of your way to find it.
You have to go out of your way to fucking look for it.
This isn't. And the funny thing is, it's like as far as spoilers go, the thing that are going to spoil people will be a random tweet.
Yes.
That's just words.
Yes.
It's not game footage.
Yes.
It's not live stream.
Yes.
It's not commentary.
Iron Man dies at Endgame.
Yes.
Fuck! You don't see the picture.
No.
You see some asshole that just wrote up.
Nobody's got a fan cam in the theater with Spider-Man going, ha!
Yeah.
Ha! Ha! No!
No, it's not how.
3 letters!
Yeah. Somebody in my Twitch chat. Iron Man dies.
Game over.
And I can guarantee you right now, not a single person in fucking Twitch chat history is going over into people's chats, spamming the ending to Persona 5. Unless they're watching Persona 5 on the Twitch.
Yes.
And then, as the fucking streamer, you put it in sub-only mode, or you fucking have an insta-ban for anybody that tries to fucking ruin it, which is done. For any game.
It's done. Any game.
Any game. Fuck them.
It's fucking bad. It's fucking bad.
No, it's sad.
A lot of people, and it's sad because Persona 5 actually did extraordinarily well for them, because Persona 4 did really well, and it opened up everyone to Persona, and then they did Persona 5, and they had a massive push for it, and it sold millions and millions and millions of copies. And then they went and did that shit.
In Japan?
No. It actually does better outside of Japan than in Japan.
Dude, the people I hear about talking about Persona, it goes as far as you.
Well,
that's
in the world of video games. So let's put this in the context. I mean, when we say millions, millions, I mean I think it probably went. I want to say it went north of 5-7 million copies, which for a game of that niche,
it's good.
You hit 5 to 7 million copies.
Imagine what they could do if they just let people fucking do.
This is my point.
Is it triple
just
their
let
fucking
it fucking
sales,
go.
Bro. Literally,
and it's a good game to watch because it's story based, character based, and it's like visually and the music is fucking amazing. And then they do this. It's like, what world are they what year are they living in? It's crazy. And it's only ever the Japanese developers that pull this shit. And it's because they still don't fucking understand, and it's like they want to leave money on the table. They're still in the mindset. You know what they're in the mindset of? It's like they're in the mindset of the music industry. Whereas like the music industry is over here, it's like, oh my god, well if we don't get we don't clamp down on this illegal downloads.
Don't listen to my song.
We're never, ever, ever going to make any money again. And then you look at their financials and go, oh shit, they had a record year.
It's insane.
It's the same mindset. It's the if people consume this for free, it assumes two things. One, that if they consume it for free, it meant that they ever, for a moment, even considered purchasing the thing in the first place, which if they're consuming it for free means they probably weren't going to buy it anyway.
Correct.
2, they're thinking about it and they want to see it
To sell
to
them on
see
it.
if they're going to be sold on it,
Yeah.
and then they actually buy the
it.
fucking game.
Yes. Crazy, huh? Wild. Next.
There's just one more end note to this.
Oh, my God.
How much money are streamers getting paid specifically to stream video games?
A lot. A lot.
And why?
Promotion. They want to sell you on it.
Because
Here's a piece.
how much more targeted do you get
You don't.
than a viewer watching their favorite streamer play a new game?
There is no more targeted.
That is as hyper targeted as you get, and there's an emotional connection because it's the streamer playing it.
Yep.
And you're more likely to take their
When they're having fun, you're going, holy shit. If they're having fun doing it, I'm going to have fun doing it. And the fact that they don't allow that to happen is not retargeted. It's retargeted.
several at the end of that. Japan, come on. Fucking Atlas, wake the fuck up. Oh, here's a goodie. Talking about living in 1967. Ninja. Look at that face.
I love
What a hero.
I love that face.
It's a great face. Nice hair.
Is it, though?
I don't know. I'm just saying it. I mean, he can rock it. I couldn't.
I couldn't rock it.
I actually just don't even have that much hair to rock it in the first place. Jeff, Ninja said some...
What did Ninja say,
An
Adam?
inflammatory...
Ninja is so philosophical.
For some people. And I responded to this on Twitter. I didn't respond to it because I found it particularly horrific. I just thought that it was worded poorly. Ninja has been getting more and more philosophical on his Twitter as of late.
That's what happens when you make all that money.
You know,
You make all that money, now you go, you know what,
he's
man?
thinking about life, Jeff.
Yeah, he's like, you know
he's
what?
really thinking hard about life.
I mean, listen, when you make $30 million like that,
Yeah,
and you've already made tens of millions beforehand, and God only knows with Adidas deals and fucking Red Bull deal. Listen, when you're pulling in, $10 to $30 million a year, you start asking yourself some life questions. You start to go deep. The day no longer becomes, damn, I got to work today. I got this, and this. It starts to become, what is life?
yeah.
That's actually what it starts. Because what else? Just think about the normal person.
Yeah.
That, like in the the things that we go through on a
You
regular
start
basis.
asking, like, what is life? Because you've gotten so high up Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you are kissing the edge of self-actualization.
Yes.
And just to get that last piece, you have to ask the question,
What is
life?
Because if you don't have that,
You're
at
not
that
going to
point,
get that last piece.
you're not. Because you got everything else.
You're 98% up the top of that pyramid, Jeff.
You just need to get 2 more
That
percent up
last
there.
2 percentage points.
So you just start asking yourself these questions.
Yep.
You start getting a life coach. You start doing things. You get a life coach. You get a life coach. And he gets you to do an hour of meditating a day.
You pay this life coach like
He goes in and gets
$1,000 an hour.
Yeah, you just get a life coach because you can.
Yeah.
Life coach.
Life coach wears uncomfortably short shorts.
And life coach is just trying to get to where you're at.
Has like a top bun.
So what he does is he just comes up with all kinds of weird bullshit to sprinkle into your brain to get you to thinking about stuff to make it
Smells
feel
like a flower department at Canadian Tire.
That's literally it. And so Ninja right now, he's going through a phase. He got that big check.
Yeah.
And now he's just going through a phase right now. He's trying to help people.
Yeah.
And he's trying to help himself. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to I see what Ninja's doing here. What does this quote say?
This quote says, the phrase, "it's just a game," is such a weak mindset. You are okay with what okay, first of all, this next sentence is worded horribly, so if it sounds weird, I apologize. You are okay with what happened. Losing. Imperfection of a craft, period. When you stop getting angry after losing, you've lost twice. There's always something to learn, and always room for improvement. Never settle. Grammatically, he needs a grammar coach, first of all. Even for Twitter, this is a bit rough. If you're going to get philosophical, at least be grammatically
He needs
on point.
he needs a PR person.
That too.
He needs somebody that literally goes, Ninja, stop tweeting shit until you send it over to me. All right? Because not only do you look fucking stupid, and there's already a really bad misconception of gamers being fucking sweaties down in their basement that didn't go to school, you're adding to that right now.
The level, the amount of sweat that's dripping off this tweet right now.
Bro, I am half retargeted.
That's Richard,
and my grammar is better than that.
That's Richard Simmons in the 80s doing workout videos sweaty
yes,
right now.
It's very sweaty.
Yes.
So, he needs to start with a PR person and not his wife. Because that ain't working out. Because you know what? He wrote this tweet laying in bed next to his wife. And he's gone over it 30 or 40 times. And he even added in commas there and stuff. Just really, really going through it. Still fucked it up.
I'm surprised he didn't try to use a semicolon at some point.
Should have.
Sometimes people, when they want to look smart, they try and throw in a semicolon. And there's about 3 people in the history of writing that have ever properly used a semicolon. And it's never the person trying to look smart. Jeff, this is a mixture of there's the right idea in here.
Yes.
Veiled in some horrible icing.
That's why you need a PR person.
Just.
Hey, I'm all down for motivating Ninja. Motivation Ninja. All right.
Yeah.
Come on out, Ninja.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of young kids following you.
That's right.
Tell them they can follow their dreams. Tell them to work hard. Tell them to never settle.
That's right.
Tell them to do all that stuff.
That's right.
But while you do that, make sure that you give your message across, because what this looks like is, hey, 10-year-olds that are playing Fortnite, when you lose,
get angry.
Get very angry that you lost.
Yes.
Get angry. Smash a keyboard and tell your mom, well, Ninja said I need to get angry to get better.
Literally says it's a weak mindset.
Yes.
Not do it that way.
And here's the thing. Guys like us, we're older. We get what he's trying to go for here, and I can appreciate it, at its core. But you're not speaking to me and Adam here.
Well, I can appreciate it to a degree, but I think I get what he's saying, but I also don't 100% agree with what he's saying.
I know what he's saying.
I appreciate the back half of this statement.
Yes.
The front half is basically a dumpster fire.
He could have literally just got rid of the first half completely and just
said there's always
that.
something to learn and always room for improvement, never settle. Maybe turn that second last comma into a period. Other than that, great. Nailed it.
Yeah. That's it.
But the idea behind, when I tweeted this, talked about it the other day, the idea behind when you lose to get angry, is almost a parody to me at this point of like the old 1960s, 70s basketball coach who it's a halftime and the team is down and they're down in the dumps and you get in and he goes, you gotta get angry. You gotta get in there. In there and fucking it's gut check time. You gotta get in there. Get angry and get out there and win. Like you have to get angry to win. Go out there and get the ball, son. Go out there and get the ball. And that's just,
don't take no for an answer.
Anger. There's a difference between recognizing that you have faults and need to tackle them, and that losing should bother. It's not that losing should make you angry. It's that it's more about the point that you should always take losing as a point to learn from. You do not, under any circumstances, ever, any individual, I don't fucking care, it's subjective. Nobody has to get angry to be able to learn something about a mistake, ever. You cannot care about something, and that would be unfortunate, but the opposite of not caring is not anger. Anger does not always equate to equaling passion for something. Sometimes it just means that you're emotionally idiotic and don't know how to process what's happening without just getting rageful and angry.
Yeah.
It's fine, but using anger as a long-term motivator is garbage, and it has never worked. It will never work. It will burn you out faster otherwise.
Yeah.
And any sports psychologist, anyone that has 3 brain cells to rub together to make a fucking fire and that knows how to use a comma would not tell you that anger is the key to being able to recognize and further yourself and make sure that you stay hungry and get out there. It's just not necessary. And more mistakes are made when you're angry than when you're not angry. When's the last time that you were super pissed and you made a decision that it was a good choice? It's rare.
The only time I can see that is for, like, fighters. Some people need to be in an angry mindset before they fight. Some people, they'll legitimately work themselves up or create issues out of non-issues to, like, get into a fighting type shit. But these are very, very, very specific and borderline.
Very few people can control their anger in a fight and not have it turn out to be bad.
And that's the thing. You can't fight angry.
No.
But some people need to get angry to motivate them, to, like, push them to it's like that thing where, hey, you get bullied in school and you go, you know what, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna out of anger, I'm gonna prove these assholes wrong. I'm gonna fucking make more money than them. I'm gonna fuck their wives. I'm gonna fucking do all this shit. That's what some people do, right? They get angry and they work hard based from anger, and then next thing you know, what they're in therapy for fucking.
Well, that's the problem. Is that they might get some success out of it.
Yeah.
But they're gonna. That's an unhealthy way of processing things.
Some people need to get angry to get to a point, but then they realize that the anger doesn't create the fulfillment.
No.
It's just an excuse and a. That's what it is. All it is just a driving force. I think instead of him using the word anger, he should have said, when you stop getting, like, fired up, he should have used a different type of word that still kind of holds the aggressiveness or the power or the force that anger brings, but in more of a positive way that isn't so destructive and can be perceived to legitimately it's just like, hey, you having a bad time in your marriage? Hey, get angry. Get angry, because when you stop getting angry that things aren't working, then things aren't gonna work out. Get angry and get that shit fixed. You don't do that. You don't do that. And there's already in video games, there's already a really, really bad sentiment when it comes to anger in video games. Listen, we all get angry.
Yes.
We get it. But I think we can all agree that even when we get angry in video games, it is not the best trait. It usually doesn't feel very good.
No.
It's not good for your opponent. It's not good for you.
No.
It's toxic. It's just actually not a good thing. That, like, we get it. It gets competitive. You get fired up. Your adrenaline goes and your fucking testosterone goes or whatever. We get that. But when you lose in a game of Fortnite and you're 12 years old, you don't need to get angry. You're playing a video game.
Yeah.
Relax a little bit. We get it. You can be competitive, but it's probably better that you analyze, you take a step back and you see where you can improve in a sound mind. You can't improve when you're pissed, because
even if you're doing this competitively, you gain nothing about getting angry.
No, you don't.
You lose. Yeah. The difference here is that if you lose, you should care that you lost.
Yes.
But you don't need to be angry to care. You just go, okay, we lost. We don't want to lose again.
Yeah.
What can we do to improve so that we don't lose again?
Yeah.
Getting angry is not one of the steps in which you need.
I think he's more like saying.
Improve.
I think he's more like saying. I really don't believe he's actually saying getting angry at the fact that they lost. I think he's saying getting angry at yourself. And I think that's what he's trying to say.
I don't think that's any better.
I don't either. I think it
might be worse.
It might even be. They're both equally bad. But I think what he's saying is like, hey, when you lose, don't fucking rage and throw a keyboard and tell your mom to fuck herself when she walks in and tell you to shut the fuck up. I think what he means is like, be angry at yourself. Don't settle. Fucking push on, because you need to care. You need to get better. You need to do this. Be angry that things aren't going your way, and use it to your advantage to be motivated. I think that's what he was going for, but that doesn't say that anywhere in this.
And the problem here is that there's no context to this, and like the phrase "it's just a game" is such a weak mindset. When is it's just a game ever used in a competitive environment. Nobody is sitting in the back in between quarters or halves with the team or at a e-sport event or whatever saying, "Don't worry, guys, it's just a game." Nobody's ever saying that. You see people say it's just a game if it's just you and your friends recreationally playing a game and you lose. You don't need to take it like your life is on the line.
Bro, chill out, bro. It's just a game.
It's a
man.
game.
Chill out.
That's when it's said.
Yeah.
Saying that that's a weak mindset and you're okay with what happened losing impression of a craft, it's like he's applying a toxically competitive mindset to literally every aspect of your life. Which is insanely unhealthy, unproductive, and unrealistic.
Bro, I'm going to keep it 100%. The more I break this down,
it gets worse.
The more I actually hate it.
Yes.
And it's like, Ninja's on such a high horse, and he's so self-consumed with his own success and his own, and you can tell, people give him shit all the time, and I never give Ninja shit. I'm always like, dude, I'm happy to see people thriving and killing it, and I was more than happy for when he made his deal. I did nothing but praise this dude.
Absolutely.
And I still do.
Smart move.
He's a hard worker. I get it. But you can tell that he gets shit on a lot, and he's got fuck you money now. Yeah. And I really, truly believe that he's just tired of being the PG Ninja, and he wants to just be himself again.
Yeah.
We saw the Ninja of before, and then we saw the commercial Ninja, the up and up, the PG Ninja, and now that he's got the fuck you money, he's turning back into the old Ninja. He's more speaking his mind. And the thing is when he's speaking his mind, now it's coming from a different place. Now it's coming from a guy that is ultra successful. He's applying his own work ethic and his weird philosophies that gets him fired up or whatever, and he's painting it for everybody. And he's saying, guys, I got angry. I'm hard on myself. I don't settle. It's not just a game to me. It's my life. We get it. It's not just a game to Ninja. Anybody that says that Ninja's just playing Fortnite because it's a game, it's not, dude. He's building generational wealth. This is him. This is identity. This is everything to Ninja. To some kid coming after school playing fucking Fortnite with his friends, that's just a game. This isn't just a game for him. It's not just a game for me. I feed my son from video games. This isn't just a game.
Yes, but you're not going to sit there.
But I don't get angry. But I don't get mad when I play it. But it's coming from the way that he's coming up with this. It's coming from a different perspective. If this came from an everyday person that just plays video games, you're not going to hear this bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
You're just not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he's applying it. The problem I have is that he is applying it from the position you're saying, but to everyone else.
And you can't do that.
You can't do that shit.
If you want to go ahead and give me this bullshit, you know what I mean? I can understand it a little bit more because it's not necessarily just a game for me. I get it. And I can use a lot of this type of stuff in my own life, never settling, always improving, getting angry.
That's some general fucking whatever the fuck.
It's some humbo jumbo fucking shit, and there's nothing worse than hearing a multi-gillionaire try and fucking patronize me about some motivational quotes. Yeah. Shut the fuck up and stream your fucking to your 7,000 viewers on Mixer. No one gives a fuck.
Because there's nothing to really glean from this. There's nothing profound happening here.
I know he calls it a craft.
And then yeah, exactly.
You call it a craft.
And then he's got a follow-up tweet where he says, and this is where I don't know if he's only speaking specifically to
Dude, he got reamed, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is on news and everything.
But just about every fucking content creator that I've seen reamed his asshole on Twitter about this.
It's not because it's Ninja. He's gonna think it's because it's fucking Ninja.
It's not because it's Ninja, dude.
His follow-up tweet is, "Where in this tweet do I say punch a wall and smash a keyboard or rage? It's the way you perceive the message." It's not the way you perceive the message. You're using really specific language. You're using it in a really specific context. We're agreeing with him here where he's not talking about smashing keyboards and raging. That still doesn't change the fact that the idea behind all of this
It's still wrong.
Is poor.
Yeah.
And in fact, my argument would be where he's going with this, despite how he's ending it, is the weak mindset. I think it's weak that
I think it's weak to get angry.
to get angry.
I actually think it's the opposite.
That's the weakness.
Yes. That's a
It's
character
fine
defect,
to say,
bro.
always, there's always something to learn, room for improvement, never settle.
Yeah.
That's fine advice to live by. You always want to set goals, no matter how big or small,
Yep.
and attain them.
Yeah.
It's like the human condition. It's what makes us happy.
Yes.
To always have something for our brains to crunch on and continue to improve on. But to say angry and then have weak mindset being the opposite of that is just wrong.
Yes.
Categorically.
Dude,
in any context.
When I played StarCraft on a daily basis and I lost games and I got angry, I never felt good about being angry.
No.
Never.
Did it help you improve at all?
Fuck no. In fact, it made me
Made you
worse
yes.
because I go in there upset. I
make
don't
mistakes.
I don't want to take the time to actually be truthful with myself on what the fuck's going on. I let anger take over and I just keep doing the same shit over and over and over again. That's what anger. There's never been a time in my professional career where I've gotten angry at playing video games and then good shit has happened
Yeah.
other than getting a couple of viral videos
Yes.
and make a couple dollars off it at my expense.
Yeah. Yes.
Other than that, I have never played a game and go, I am fucking In fact, when I got angry, that's what got me in trouble.
Yeah.
Is when I ran my mouth.
Yeah.
Fuck you, buddy.
Because you're angry.
Yeah. I get pissed and I say stupid shit, right? There's no good that comes out of that.
It's just very odd. You can see some of his replies here where like this guy Pete says, "Mate, you're essentially telling young kids to keep playing until you win or you're a failure." And then Ninja's response is, "There is always room for improvement, never settle," is bad advice. So he's cherry picking within his own comment now, where he wants this whole thing to be about there is always room for improvement, never settle.
He should have just left it at that.
But if that's all he was going for,
don't put the top part up there.
then what it tells me is one of two things. One, he really and truly does not understand what he said here, those two things being disconnected and shouldn't be together. Or two, he's just ignoring it and trying to just specifically pick out this one thing because he's the most easily defensible part of his entire comment. It's just very strange. And this is only news because it's Ninja.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if I wrote something like this,
nobody's gonna give a fuck.
Two people are going to say, dude,
that's a bad idea.
Shut the fuck up.
But Ninja says that, and there is a line for him because ultimately he has to understand that he built an empire on kids.
Yes, and he's the face of gaming in general.
I'll even ignore that shit because I don't know if right now that's necessarily.
He is. If you name 5 people,
I mean, he's
there. In that.
Yes,
if there's a fucking Rushmore of gaming, he's one of the heads.
But that's because he's built the empire on kids.
Yes.
He didn't build it on his Halo career raging in his room.
No.
He built it playing Fortnite for kids, dyed his hair blue, and then got super hype and like Ned Flanders.
Red Bull, I was like a ninja today. Ninja.
Like that's what built his money, which was great and a fantastic
I wish
move.
I would have done something like that. But I suck
now
at
that
games
he's
too
done
much.
that and he just wants to suddenly revert, he's got to be mindful because he's got millions and millions and millions of young kids who want to be him.
They idolize him.
They
literally.
idolize him.
Yes.
And so to go out there and say to say something like, and especially since it's preceding the main point of there's always something to learn, always room for improve, is that in order to get to that, you have to be angry when you lose.
Yeah, and if you're not, it's a weak mindset, bro.
And at no point did he add a second tweet to clarify what he's saying. When I say
he
angry,
doubled and tripled down.
When I say angry, I don't mean physically punching walls and doing everything.
He meant being angry at yourself. He
means be uncomfortable is a better word.
There you go.
Uncomfortable with the loss.
Yeah.
So that you want to make yourself comfortable. You don't want to be comfortable in defeat all the time.
Yeah.
You want to be comfortable with the idea of losing, but uncomfortable if it happens, so that you are motivated in some way to want to improve yourself. Not lose and then go rage like a 5-year-old, not necessarily breaking shit, but getting so angry and like Anakin fucking Skywalker about it that you become a Dark Lord and burn off half your body. Don't do that shit.
He could have just said, get fired up, man. Get fired up, get motivated. Let the loss put some perspective. Like, just get in there and get it, improve yourself.
Yeah.
But anyway, we dissected that fucking thing for 20 minutes.
There you go.
You know what? At the end of the day, I got no hate for Ninja. He just said, just lately, he's just been saying some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what it's all about. I don't know if he's starting to say this stuff to, like, stay in the news, to stay relevant, to, like...
I don't think that's what this is. I think he's just trying to... I think right now what it looks
Life
like
coach.
is he's somewhere between...
Life coach.
Like Ninja of a year and a half ago and Ninja where he wants to be, which is Ninja wants to go back to being able to be an adult.
Yeah.
And not have to be
PG
thinking
Ninja.
of kids all the time.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it on his Twitter. We see it on the stream.
He's looking for that 2%, Adam. He's 98% of the way there.
He's looking for that too. Looking for that too. Speaking of looking for that too, completely unrelated to games, but a soccer player, was banned for 5 years for biting an opponent's penis. I just wanted to throw that in there. 5-year ban because the guy couldn't, for whatever reason, not bite another man's dick.
That would happen in soccer, too.
And it's happened in the past. There's actually an old GIF of another dude, like, in a celebratory thing, biting a teammate's dick. It's fucking weird. I don't know.
Like nibbling it or just straight up?
Like, dude's on the ground, he's down, and he's, like, in his shorts, and he's like, ah, and, like it's some weird shit, dude.
Yeah, soccer is not for me, bro.
It's
not for me.
Yeah.
And when I hear shit like this, it's really not for me. So rest in peace for that guy's penis.
It was either soccer or rugby. I can't remember which one, that old GIF. But now it's happening in soccer. Dude just straight up bit a dude's dick.
For 5 years, that dude should just be gone. Like, he actually should not be allowed to play soccer.
It's fucking weird, man. I mean...
If there's a time to get angry, this is where we need the Ninja quote.
Yeah.
When a dude bites your dick off, it's not just a game. Get angry. That's when you get angry. That's worse than the Mike Tyson biting fucking Holyfield's ear.
Yeah, you're not biting an ear. You're biting.
You're biting a penis.
Yeah, that's why
at a sports event.
Why?
The answer is why not? And why isn't he wearing a cup?
Well, it's soccer. You don't really wear a cup in soccer.
With all the kicks and cleats and everything that's going on,
you're running so much, dude. You chafe a hole in your thighs.
I suppose you're right.
So fast, you'd be fucked.
Well, after what happened here, people might start thinking about using cups. They're gonna have your fucking penis bit.
Yeah.
Holy
dude,
shit.
it's fucking weird.
God damn.
So I throw that in there.
Crazy.
Because it was just weird.
Why not? Hit that like button.
for the dick bite. Faker signed with T1. This has been a question on the minds of more than a few people for a long time now. It was, would Faker sign again with T1? Or with all the rumors of North American teams and European teams basically signing blank checks and saying, for God's sake, please, come here to our organization and have us win some shit.
Make us money.
Make us some money, please. Despite all of that, all those rumors, that's been settled. And not just in a small way. Indefinitely.
They locked him up.
He locked himself up. In one of the biggest dick plays and contract signing in esports history, Faker is back with T1 as a player for 3 years. With that signing, he is also a part owner of T1 Entertainment. And then also, upon his retirement, whenever he so chooses to retire from professional play, he is promised a leadership role at T1 Entertainment.
Bro, they had to bring their dick out so thick and veiny that they said, bro, we actually can't afford to pay you what you're worth.
Oh, he still got paid a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of money.
What we're going to do is we're just going to give you ownership of the company.
Of the company, yeah.
And then when you do retire, we got a fucking high-paying job for you, sitting here waiting at your own office at your own company.
Yeah.
Sign with us.
And he said, okay, I'll do that. Genius. Motherfucker is a part owner of a massive entertainment conglomerate and then gets a leadership role when he pounces at, like, I don't know, 35, 40. Whenever he decides to stop playing.
Dude, he'd probably stop playing in 3 years.
If he wanted to.
Put his 3 years in,
Peace.
I'm done.
Retiring as the greatest League of Legends player of all time.
Yeah, he'll coach. He'll be there, sell some merch.
Does whatever he wants now.
Yeah. Oh, good for him.
Smart move.
Hell yeah.
So you go. You're not going to see Faker on anywhere that isn't T1.
They locked him the fuck up.
Locked him right the fuck up. Sony. In more Sony news. Jeff, Sony's doing some weird, nothing positive has come for Sony in 2020 and late 2019, for that matter. Sony has just canceled its PAX East attendance because of coronavirus fears. My question is, really? Or is it you just don't have anything to show and you were hoping you would have things to show and the coronavirus is a really convenient out because this shit's happening in Boston? There's no fucking coronavirus worry in Boston. Outside of China, there's what? Other than the boat that was off the coast of Japan, there's 10 cases outside of the country. Dude, there's been 40,000 deaths from the plain-ass flu.
Yes. Dude, I'm so tired of hearing about this coronavirus.
It is good that China's taking it seriously as they are.
Of course.
You don't want it to spread.
Of course.
But for Sony to back out of PAX East in Boston in the U.S. for coronavirus fears is fucking whack.
Yeah, that's
Nobody else is backing out. This is just Sony.
Bro. That's an excuse.
That's a hard fucking excuse. I'm calling that shit out. I don't have a tinfoil hat, but you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. I don't think it's because they don't have anything to show. I just think they're going, you know what? This is not only going to save us quite a bit of money, but when we do release everything, we're going to be able to do it with a huge bang. And instead of showing a little bit now and then regurgitating,
they're going to have to have that better be the biggest of bangs.
Well, they have to. I mean, the system's coming out this year.
That's going to be a thundercock, Jeff.
Yeah.
They need to bring out the most epic dick of all time. They have gone radio silent, and not in a good way, canceling events, moving shit around, delay, nothing. Won't announce the price of the PlayStation 5 until they hear what the Xbox is being priced. Nothing is positive.
Bro, you know what it's starting to smell like? It's starting to smell like they're going to pull an Xbox, and I hope they don't pull an Xbox. Because
are the roles about to be reversed?
I don't think so. Sony's smarter than that, but man, these things are starting to stack up. And it's not like we got a whole lot of time left before this fucking system comes out. They need to start marketing this thing ASAP.
That shit's crazy.
And I'm going to tell you right now, these motherfuckers did not go to PAX because of a scare of a coronavirus.
Fuck no.
I'm going to tell you that that's actually guaranteed.
Events are getting canceled in China?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Boston? Providence?
No.
The answer's no.
The answer's no. The answer is you don't have anything.
That's a hard no.
And Naughty Dog recently came out and said, we're getting ready to put some stuff out, but we don't have anything just yet. That's code for PAX is now canceled.
Oh boy. What's next?
I want you to get. I want to get a guess from you. The fact that PlayStation hasn't announced a price yet for this console. They don't have anything to fucking show. Nothing. What do you think the PlayStation 5 is going to cost? I think I've already said that I think it's going to cost $499 US. And I think the Xbox Series 1 is going to be $549 to $599.
Mm-hmm.
Or Series X, I should say. Man, that's a bad fucking name they chose.
That's a horrible name.
They really fucked that up. If I can't even get that shit right,
that's a bad.
You've shot yourself in the foot.
It's too long. Just call it the Series X.
There's too many X's in this.
Just
Xbox
call it
Series X.
Just call it Series X.
Yeah.
Leave the Xbox out.
But then you fucked your whole brand.
I know. The whole brand's then fucky.
Yeah. I get the idea, it's a sub of Xbox.
I get it.
But it's bad.
I get it.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
What's the PlayStation 5 selling for?
Are we doing two different versions of the PlayStation?
No, because I don't think it's going to exist. You're going to get one version of PlayStation 5.
I'm going with damn. I want to say $499.
And this is we're going to go in US dollars.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to say $499, but bro, I'm going $399. I'm going $399.
So you're taking they're going to take a massive loss to try and sell software.
Or halfway. $449.99.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be the lesser. I'm going to go with $399. This is why they're not talking about the price. I think they want Xbox to come out, say, this is it, this is the show, this is the price, here it is, and then Sony come out with their dick on the table and say it's $100 cheaper, let's fucking go.
So here's the crazy thing, and I know I said the Xbox Series X might come out at like a $549, but I think it will be $599. Here's the thing. Here's some weird marketing shit. $449 sounds more expensive to people.
It does.
Than $499.
Yeah, it does.
And so it will be $499 or $399 or $599.
Dude, $399 would be insane.
$399 would be, I would say they'd be losing $80 a console.
Yep. And we don't even know if they're going to have that cross-compatible shit.
For the first 2 years, they'd be probably losing between $60 and $80 from 80 ramp down to 60 until efficiencies were met.
Yep.
They'd be losing out on so much money, which means their games would have to be their first-party games, not just regular games. And the attach rate would have to be like 2 to 3 games a console inside of the first 6 months of ownership. And we don't even know what the fuck. I mean, what they had the Godfall.
Yeah, I know. Listen, we're waiting, dude. But if it's $399, the world shakes a little bit, and Xbox goes fuck.
Well, I think the Xbox's price is locked in regardless. It doesn't matter. And
really, because if Sony does come out and say $399, and if Sony came out and said $399 today, you don't think that there's a chance that Xbox matches that price?
No, and you know why? Because the Xbox is going to have more than one SKU.
That's true. That is true.
I think what will happen.
But what about the lower one, matching on the lower end,
yes.
and then high, obviously for the Series X?
Yes, Series X, which we already know they've stated is the highest end one, the most expensive SKU.
Yeah,
that will be. I'm almost positive $599 US on release. I think that they'll have that. What will happen is if Sony comes in at $499, I don't think that Xbox immediately announces another SKU. If they come in at $399, Xbox will announce ahead of time. It might not be ready for the announcement because I don't think Series X and another SKU will launch at the same time. Maybe the following summer, but they will say, and coming after for this much.
Yeah.
You're going to have...
Dude, I'm kind of with you. Like, I truly believe it'll be $499.
Yeah.
But I want to say $399 just because the...
$399 would be a massive gamble. And I think what happens is... Here's my theory on that. If they went $399, it wouldn't necessarily be because they think that their attach rate for first-party games early on is going to be huge, because I don't think they have the fucking games for it, to be honest with you. We would have long censored. Nobody's bundling that much information up in today's social media to unleash it all at once.
Yeah.
We actually just talked the other day how you don't. You want to let that bleed out over time. I don't think they have anything. So what they would do is they'd go $399 with the understanding that they sell a bunch of consoles up front so that when they do have the games, their base is there.
It does make sense.
They'll recoup their shit in 2-3 years time.
Because when you think about it, if the console does come at $500 and they don't have games, they're not going to sell as much. But if the console's $100 cheaper than the Xbox, or it's $399 and say the Xbox is $399, they're just going to buy the PlayStation because it's affordable.
And it will play PlayStation 4 games better.
And it might be backwards compatible on all of them.
Even if it was just 4, what it means is that you're going to play 4 at higher resolutions, better look.
Yep.
You're going to have that whole catalog available to you.
Yep.
And then you're going to have that plus the $100 cheaper console, which will be enough to push people in. Maybe you get 1 or 2 PS5 exclusives that maybe intrigue you.
Yep.
And then 2 years from now,
the
idea would be that they sold so many, but they lost the money, but they'll make up for it with the games that come in a year or two into the launch cycle of the console.
Yep.
Whereas the Xbox,
not only that, the Sony in 2 years will have another version.
Yeah.
And that's when they can have the price increase. You know, the ones that didn't hop on board back when it was $399.
Well, they will eventually have another SKU. That's like the thing. It's like cell phones now. They'll it just so happens that Xbox is launching with the Series X out of the gate. Which means they must have a lot of confidence in the hardware that they have in that console. You have to think about it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Because unless they're going to like have one that's like another, which would be weird, They have a lot of confidence.
It's probably
in that
just gonna
shit.
have a bigger hard drive. You know, it's gonna
It'd be
have
something like that.
Yeah,
There will
it's-
be like another SKU, but that's always the case. They always have a bigger hard drive. They'll have like a smaller version.
Yeah,
You know, they've shrunk the process.
it'll be interesting. We're gonna see. We're not gonna find anything out come PAX though.
No,
because they're scared of coronaviruses.
in Boston.
Hey, before we get into this,
Yeah.
that console that was up for auction.
Yes, right. Oh, I forgot to put that in here. Well, where was it? Where I saw that it
Dude,
got to 350 a
It
couple
was
days
at
ago.
350,000. I don't know where it is now.
Let me see.
Let's see here, just to give people an update
Um.
on where we're at.
All right. Let's
'Cause we
see.
said we'd give an update here. Here it is.
Oh, that's the 350. I want to
So,
get a link.
yeah,
to
one
the
of the actual thing. It was at $350,000 and still climbing. We're trying to find the actual page. Oh, there it is. Go up some. It actually said there it is. Scroll down. It's called Heritage Auctions.
Oh, where is
Scroll
it?
down. Scroll down. Scroll right there. Source. Click on right at the very bottom. Yep.
Oh,
there.
here.
Click on that. There it is. Oh, it's 300,000 and then the fee.
Yeah. So it's at
So-
300,000 right now. So the 350 or whatever must
It's $360,000 with the
canceled.
with the buyer's premium. It's
Yeah.
at 360,000.
Yeah. So with the buyer's premium, it is currently at $360,000 for that bad boy. It was at 50 grand or whatever, or 30 grand. I can't remember what
I
it was.
don't know what it was, but
Last week.
we'll check again next week.
Yeah, we'll see. Because I think it's like 3 weeks in total.
I think it's going to go to $500,000.
It's definitely looking like it's getting up there.
That's crazy.
That's crazy shit.
That's stupid money.
That's
now.
a big windfall. No Man's Sky is back on the list, Jeff.
Oh boy.
Another update.
Yay.
Here we go. It's their 9th free update. 9th. And this one is introducing. Yes, I will accept the cookies. Thank you. This one will be introducing living ships. So they're organic ships. They are procedurally generated organic ships. And I don't know if you can farm these things and or what, but you at least for one, you get to go through the story missions to get a void egg that then hatches into your organic ship. And you can find organic ships naturally like you do with other ships as well. And they have other encounters and whatnot around this. There's an entire story thing around how the organic ships came to be. One of the races in the universe actually were the scientists that ended up creating this thing. They don't get upgraded normally.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have to. It's like a living thing, so you have to like
Train it and shit?
like nurture it in certain directions. So if you want more cargo capacity, you have to go in one direction. If you want better weapons, you're going in another. It's like Pokemon starships.
Okay.
Random, but procedurally generated Pokemon starships. Right off the bat, all available in VR. And then this was like all the other updates. There's a whack of quality of life improvements. Other features that they've added to the game, like multiplayer, for example. You can now warp together. You just go to I can't remember the name of it in the game. It's there's like
big hub.
a hub.
Yeah.
And then you just all can go together, so you can stay together easy now. Everything is just keeps
it's
getting
safe
better.
to say No Man's Sky no longer sucks.
No, if you're not, if you were, this is now beyond.
Yeah, but at this point, I don't think they're actually. At this point, I don't think they're making good on what they did anymore. I just think they're just continuing to develop a game that they said they were going to develop.
Well, that's definitely it.
And they're selling copies.
Like,
the game is still selling.
They've already they met what they
Years ago, bro.
originally
That was-
in E3
Yeah.
a couple
of
a
years
while
ago.
ago now.
Yeah.
Now it's just we're
Now they just
in some other, no pun intended, universe
Yeah.
Of content. I haven't got a chance to play it yet, but if you can farm these things and get rare ships and shit, and it's literally like a fucking Pokemon ship collector, that shit's gonna get
That's
people
cool.
hooked like fucking crazy.
That's
That's
cool.
it's just one of those things.
Cool.
But yeah, really
shit.
really great update there. There you go. More fun stuff for No Man's Sky, and that's all I've got for game news this week. Jeff,
Yeah.
time to sell out.
Hey, Elgato.
I'm feeling the glow of a very nice even light right now, Jeff.
Are you feeling that?
I am.
Well, we're using one right now.
Really?
There's a light right. You guys can't see it,
Incredible.
but it's right there behind you.
And it's on one of their multi-mounts as well
Absolutely. Which is
is
available.
on their website.
Yeah, and I think you can buy this. You can buy this stuff really anywhere. You can get stuff on Amazon, on the website.
Anywhere.
We've got a link now in the description of every Clips video and the main hub video. If you scroll underneath, you're going to see a link to the Elgato website.
Yep.
It is a link directly through us. So when you click on that, we don't get any commission or anything, but it tracks how many of you guys are heading on over there. You can click on that link, head on over there, check out all the products. They got lightings. They got green screens. They've got capture cards. And my favorite, Stream Decks.
Stream Decks.
Dude, I'm all over the stream. I got Stream Deck all over my mouth.
Well, that's because especially for the RP community.
Yes.
The Stream Deck has been a godsend.
Yes. Because I click a button and I do an emote.
All the functions.
Yeah. Not only that, I can click a button and I can boot up my stream. I can click a button, boot up my website.
There was an awesome tweet that went out the other day. Somebody who had the Stream Deck, and they pressed the button and they had the macro set up to turn on both of their lights, set the color temperature and brightness that they want for the stream.
Yep.
Opened up OBS, opened up their Streamlabs stuff, their dashboard, and then there was like 2 or 3 other fucking functions. It was like the command center button. They pressed the command center button and everything for the stream happened, and then they just pressed the go live and everything's done.
Everything's done for them.
And it's they keep adding functionality to the Stream Deck, and it's such a powerful little tool. And it's an extension of like when people used to buy like those numpad USB numpads.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then they'd use that for the hotkeys instead.
Yeah, macro. It's macro keys.
It's macro keys.
Yeah.
So you take that now and you add the ability to put the LEDs in the nested folders.
Just imagine playing a game like World of Warcraft or something like that with all those different macro keys.
Yeah.
I remember when I was playing WoW for like 30 days, and I'd have to hold Shift F1, Shift F2. I'd have like 50 different spells.
Or you had a keyboard that had on the left-hand side, like I did, 2 rows of macro keys just for MMOs because of that kind of stuff.
You have a Stream Deck, you can literally macro your keys to a Stream Deck, and then literally on the Stream Deck, you can have a little mini photo of the actual spell or whatever else.
So you know what you're doing.
So you know literally what you're doing.
It's nice.
It's actually that simple. Not only that, the Stream Deck is good.
Jeff.
What?
Oh my.
What?
I said, okay. All right. Elgato, are you listening right now? What you need to do, who owns Elgato right now? Did anyone buy them up? Corsair didn't buy them, did they? Or did they?
I think they did.
Okay, Corsair and Elgato. Are you listening to me right now? Corsair has a really popular mechanical keyboard, but what you need to do is you need to make a keyboard that has Stream Deck buttons that are LED on the top of the keyboard that are built into the keyboard.
Ooh.
So that you have those functions at the top.
Don't say too much. We got to patent this idea, Adam. We got to patent this idea, Adam. You're giving them too much. We got to get a raise.
That's the money, bro.
Dude, that's actually a dope idea. You could literally have your own little mini Stream Deck on the computer or on your keyboard.
Yes. Yeah, it's just part of your keyboard. So your function keys are just there. And you could have, at the top for function keys, you could have like 10 keys.
Damn.
Across the top of your keyboard.
Damn.
Yeah, bro.
That's actually a dope idea.
That's
in the meantime, you can literally just have your Stream Deck and lay it beside your keyboard.
That too.
And just use it as...
You can also do that.
You could also do that.
You can also do that.
You could also do that. But as somebody in chat just asked, Stream Deck, do you even need it? Could you use one if you're not a streamer? The answer is absolutely yes.
There's actually a ton of features. People use it. I know people in the art community with their art programs and stuff. There's a lot of macroing and stuff that they could do with certain keys, and I know that they use Stream Decks for that as well. Video editors and stuff sometimes as well. We use the Stream Deck for certain macro keys within video editors. There's a whole bunch of shit you can do. Shit, if you're bored, you can just literally like load up GIFs and shit on like every one of them and make like little videos on them because you can.
Yep.
Just because you can.
You can macro it to do anything. You like the podcast? You can have a macro where you click it, it'll automatically open up our stream on Twitch or a YouTube page. You could have the Technical Alpha Clips page on one tab, our main page on the other tab, our Patreon to go over there and support it on another one. You can click on any of those things that you want to do.
That's right.
All through the Elgato Stream Deck. So once again, link in the description. I know that was long-winded, but hey, that was actually a dope idea. That's actually a really good idea.
I promise you, that's going to happen.
You know what? I need to reach out to my rep, and I need to let him know that you came up with that idea.
Give me a royalty.
We got to get you a royalty. We got to get you a royalty.
Give me a royalty check now.
At least give us a couple of them free keyboards and designed by Adam.
That's right. That's right. There's some money to be made there. Let me tell you.
That's a good idea. That's actually really.
I mean, Corsair owns them already.
Especially if you could have literally a Corsair keyboard and then have like a little powered by Elgato macro side on this. Is be pretty dope.
That's the fucking show, bro.
That's the future.
Yeah.
That's the future, and I want to be part of that.
And even if it wasn't just for streamers, again, if you're doing like MMOs and shit, having the ability to be able to LED change a picture of what it is.
That's
so you
amazing.
Have your macros and
That's
shit,
amazing.
It's basically like what you have at the bottom of your screen. In the MMO.
In the MMO. Not only
and
that,
you can clean up, and in the MMO, very important as well. The UI gets crazy cluttered because of all the spells. So if you can even move one row down onto your keyboard to have your macros in your keyboard because they're icons.
This guy's selling me. Stop! Hey, stop! You're selling me on a keyboard that doesn't exist right now, Adam.
It's coming.
And I'm going to want that keyboard.
It's coming. I promise you.
You're going to want that keyboard.
It's fucking coming.
NordVPN, they exist. And you're going to go and grab a subscription using that promo code OTT, 70% off.
That's right.
Man, people are still using that promo code and getting on that hype. People are loving it.
Every week.
Every week, there's more. I see more and more people. Just hit it up on the hype. So thank you guys so much for supporting the sponsor. Up to 6 simultaneous connections.
Phones, routers.
Everything.
Home computers, laptops, tablets.
Somebody in my chat yesterday said they just signed up and their TV actually has an app, a NordVPN app on their smart TV.
Oh, shit.
And so they just get to mask their whole IP right on their smart TV.
That's hot.
There's an app for it.
It's the future, Jeb.
They're everywhere. Promo code OTT, 30-day money-back guarantee, which means if you're not getting the product that you thought you were going to get, you can get your money back. But I'm telling you, you're going to like it. And if you're going to want to watch that Uncut Gems and you live in the U.S., on Netflix.
Somebody told me that they literally used the promo code to get that to watch Uncut Gems.
Hey, I did that plug last week.
It happened.
It worked. See?
It worked.
It sold.
It sold it.
Just like that. Which means, hey, you got to mask yourself as a Canadian.
That's right.
And then, boom.
It's like when you travel abroad as an American, but you want to put a Canadian badge in your backpack so that people don't hate you. It's basically that, but on the internet.
There you go. That's it. That's actually, that's it. NordVPN. If you're listening to this via just audio, it's nordvpn.com/OTT. Go on over there and sign up. That's it for plug-in.
Patreon.com/LikeTV.
Yeah, we can't forget about it.
Plug ourselves. Slow down there. Slow down.
Hey, we're back. We're moving up.
We are.
I actually checked.
A new producer. Shout-outs to the new producer at a hundo spot.
Woo!
Shout-outs!
Woo! Keeping the lights on.
Bless!
Damn.
Send us a message as well on Patreon. So thank you for the...
And send in your stuff so we can ship you out some merch.
Yeah, might have been in the message. I didn't check that, but that is coming up. We're going to start accruing our stuff to send out...
Sounds good.
Another... the post office hates me.
Yes, they do.
It's tough.
But hey, deal with it.
It's a rough time.
Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. It does help out a lot. And it is time for movies and TV.
Jeff, I saw Sonic yesterday.
Did you?
I did.
How was it?
Bro?
Duh.
It's a good movie.
It's good?
It's a good movie. It's okay. So you have to, first of all, perspective. It's a kid's movie.
Yes.
Okay. So you have to appreciate that there will be parts of this movie that are abrasive to you because you watch it and you go, oh, why? For example, why does Sonic have to floss? Because it's a kid's movie.
Okay, that makes sense.
In fairness, he flosses for maybe a maximum of 5 seconds throughout the entire movie.
But he flosses.
Okay. And every time he did it the one time, I was like, why you got to do that? And he did it a second time later on, and I was like, Could just left that at 1.
Well, kids got to floss.
But kids love the floss.
Hey, I need a floss. I need to be
Fortnite.
reminded sometimes.
Fortnite kids.
Yeah.
So that's 1. I don't mean flossing your teeth.
Mm.
I mean the floss dance from Fortnite.
Oh, we did that.
Just to clarify. The whole, the
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
okay.
Damn, I thought he was flossing his
No,
teeth.
not his teeth. No.
Shit. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that floss.
No. That made me cringe a bit. But then I remembered again,
It's for kids.
it's a kids movie.
It's for kids.
So, but with that being said, I still laughed out loud several times. Em laughed out loud several times. She has zero connection to Sonic whatsoever. She liked it. She thought it was great. My God, did they pull off a miracle? Sonic looked good. You could tell in spots that they were in hard crunch. Not that it looked bad, but it was like if this had been the direction they had gone in the beginning, and then they had the full production run to do it, it just would have been better,
yeah.
right? For Sonic, everything else that wasn't Sonic, that was computer generated, so anything that was Robotnik
explosions
stuff and all that stuff, all of it looked better than it had any right to. Like some of the shit, like the Robotnik ship and stuff that he's flying around in, like it looked like I was watching a borderline Avengers type shit. Like it was really, really well done.
All right.
So, Jim Carrey crushed it. I couldn't see anyone else playing this role after I watched the whole film. At the same token, it's 90s Jim Carrey. Evil.
I'm okay with that.
And that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
And what was nice was that there were at least 3 major scenes in that movie where they turned a camera on and they said, this is the general idea.
Go, Jim.
Go, Jim.
And
then Jim just went.
But you know what? That's good because...
You need to do that with Jim Carrey.
Well, not only that, I just find the movies that Jim Carrey has been in the last decade or so is some of them is Jim trying to do old Jim, and the movie, the tone, everything, the script just didn't call for it, and it made it feel like Jim trying to be old Jim.
Yeah.
And I feel like in something cartoony like this,
oh, it's perfect
it's
application.
Like it is just you couldn't ask for a better thing to let Jim Carrey be himself.
Yeah.
And shine again.
So here's the thing. So Sonic took care of the majority of the verbal humor for the kid side of things. And then when Jim was on screen,
It's for the adults.
it was the adults. The kids will get Jim Carrey's animated, funny, rubbery face, all that stuff. But the stuff coming out of his mouth, lots of references. This movie is full of culture references to make their jokes. And there's endless one-liners. And in parts, it was almost fatiguing how many one-liners were just coming. And again, you sat there and you went, it's a kid's movie.
It's a kid's movie.
So just one-liner. And most of them were hit. They were mostly funny. It was just it was an enjoyable movie.
Hey.
I recommend seeing it. And you know what? It made $100 million in the opening weekend globally.
Yeah.
And currently, it is not insignificantly ahead of Star Wars Rise of Skywalker
That's
Rotten
not hard.
Tomatoes.
That's not hard to do.
Not only for critic reviews, but also the audience reviews. It has a 94% audience review rating with 11,000 verified ratings and 64% from 175 critics, which what world do you think we're living in that Sonic is over 60% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics?
Dude, I called this out, and I need to go back to the damn podcast where I talked about this. I had predicted...
It's like it was meant to be.
I think I had predicted that this movie would make $300 million. I think that's what I said. And even when it came out of my mouth, I almost threw up a little bit, but after what they did, I'm telling you, bro, I still believe it. The shitty-ass animation that they came out with was a fucking marketing ploy.
No, it was definitely not.
And then they fucking switched that shit up. And
that would be the most genius thing ever, but that ain't it, because even the house that saved the film got shut down.
Dude, well, if they didn't, but the fact that they did go around and change it was god tier.
Well, it was.
I guarantee that audience score at 94, it would have been the exact same movie. It would have been a fucking 15.
Yeah, 100%.
If they used the old animation.
100%.
And it wouldn't have changed the movie at all, but just the look of Sonic, and people would have shit all over it. Secondly,
yeah,
we called it out. I even said it. that old version, Blu-ray special.
Oh, it's definitely
Blu-ray.
Well, I think they already said
They
it's
already
coming.
said it.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen. And that's money, bro.
Well, it's smart for them to do that. They're turning a bad situation where they fucked up. Somebody internally made a horrible call on okaying that fucking. Somebody who never seen Sonic in their life.
Yeah, but did they though? Because that horrible call on that look.
Well,
actually, dude, the guy got fired and then rehired out of like
the guy. No. Because the guy who made the call to have original Sonic is just dead.
Dude.
The guy who made the call to hire the team that did Sonic Mania to come in to make sure that the saving team for the animation team brought this thing back from death.
Yeah.
That's the guy getting the praise.
But also on the same vein, I'm telling you, if that fucking shit didn't go down, that movie does not make $100 million opening weekend.
No, it doesn't.
This fucking movie would have been like a $30-40 million film, but instead,
it was a perfect storm.
Dude, it was an incredible storm.
Perfect storm.
Dude, I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm happy.
Thrilled.
Because you were going to get another Sonic. It's 100%.
Yes.
They didn't even know they had this hit on their hand.
They ended it to show that there's going to be the hopes of.
Bro, Jim Carrey's already signed on for that motherfucking. Dude, this is a franchise, bro. They've turned this thing into a motherfucking franchise.
Bro.
And I'm happy for them.
Honest to God. There are a lot of things in the movie other than the animation that you can tell came after the change. I won't say what because it'd be spoilery and shit if you care about Sonic spoilers, but
I do now.
Yeah. So there are things and when you watch it, you'll go, okay, this would have been different if they had stayed the original. This would have been different. This movie is better than it has any right to fucking be. Honest to fuck. Like, there's no reason why this movie should be as good as it is, but they fucking did not only did they do a good job, they also even managed to make the like Sonic and his rings and everything somehow make fucking sense in the real world in a way that is kind of cool and like a neat concept that I wouldn't have thought about before, even if it was part of original Sonic lore. So they did a fantastic job. I really have
sold me on it. I'm gonna go check. I'll check it out.
A very little portion. The only thing that I could say is that at the beginning of the fucking movie they didn't go Sega. Missed fucking. Damn it! Why?
That would have been cool.
Why? But they did have lots of other callbacks. There's lots of game callbacks.
Of course, they better.
And it's well done. It was very.
Sega's
well
loving this right now. Holy shit!
Yeah, it was smart.
I went and saw Birds of Prey. So I had
you had the opposite experience.
I went to the theater. I stood there, and I had two options: Sonic or Birds of Prey.
Ooh, okay.
And the thing that put me over was Birds of Prey was an IMAX, and I said, you know what?
IMAX
I just can't say
nice.
no to an IMAX
It's
film.
true. IMAX does make everything better.
So I went in there planning to hate the movie.
Yep.
And I left it not hating it.
Okay.
I left it pleasantly satisfied, happy that I saw it in IMAX. Do I want to see another one? No, I don't. It's very girl powered.
Well, that was like the whole idea. There was the director, the producer.
But I'll say this: they never shoved it down my throat. So it was like one of these girl powered.
So they just so happened to do a girl power movie that wasn't specifically.
There was only one scene in the movie where they really girl power. But other than that, and even I didn't even mind that. Because in dude movies, when you got all the dudes,
you get the dude
and
thing.
you get the dude thing, they're all jacked up, fucking
fist bumps, and athletic ass slaps.
We get it, explosions and walking around. We get that. So I will say, I think it's because I went in there with such low expectations that I left there pleasantly surprised. It's not a bad movie. Harley Quinn, just about everybody in it was great. Fucking what's his face there? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ewan McGregor?
Yeah. He was the main villain, and he was amazing.
Well, it's Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. I mean, he was really, really great. It was brutal. Most of the fight scenes were well choreographed. There's a couple of parts of the movie that I could give or leave, but it was well paced. It wasn't a super long film. It knew what it wanted to do. It knew the story it wanted to tell. I didn't hate it. Like, the more I think about it, the more I didn't hate it. If I had to rate it out of 10, I would give it like a 7.5. Maybe closer to an 8 for what it was. This isn't a big superhero film. It is a smaller, more focused story, and a lot of callbacks to Joker and different things. So it worked. It worked for me. So I can see why some people didn't like it. I'm not big on the lore, so I don't know if all the characters that they introduced were well done or stayed true to the canon and stuff. I don't care about that. When I go into a movie, I just want to go and enjoy the film for what it is, even if it's different than source material. If it does a good job, I'm okay with it. So I didn't hate it nearly as much as some people hated it. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it more than Ant-Man. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed it probably as much as Spider-Man. Not the
Into the Spider-Verse.
That one was really good. But like the last Spider-Man, Homecoming, I think I enjoyed it about the same. Give or take.
Where does it rank in the DC hierarchy of films?
It's better than Suicide Squad. It's not as good as Batman v Superman. It's not as good as Jason Momoa's Aquaman. I would say, like, in the totem pole, it's not as good as Wonder Woman.
So it's like a 4th or a 5th.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's not but that's coming from a pool.
Fine.
That's coming from a pool of movies that really aren't that bad to begin with.
No,
like,
yeah, exactly.
There's not a lot of bad DC films. Like Suicide Squad literally is the worst.
There's just not a lot of great.
There's not a lot of great ones.
DC films. Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I didn't ask for this movie. I didn't know I wanted to see this movie. And I left feeling like, hey, I'm not mad that I went to the IMAX and I saw a film for a couple hours in the afternoon. I'm really not angry. And when it comes on Netflix or wherever it comes on, it's a definite watch. Like, it's a good little film with action, and it's not too superhero-ish.
Which makes sense given the people in it, right?
Yeah, there's like one person in there that's got like mutant-like powers.
Yeah.
And that also felt a little misplaced, because when this person did this thing, nobody else in the film did anything remotely like it. So it felt like this character came from another universe almost. It was almost like an X-Men came in.
Well, I mean, like, DC is less about the superpowers and more about
the characters. Human-like.
It is more of a superhuman than it is about superpowers necessarily, or like godlike powers. Whereas Marvel is like rife with everyone is
gods.
super powerful.
Everyone's gods.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I didn't hate it. But I'm definitely going to check out Sonic now that you've hyped it up some. And I've been hearing nothing but good things about Sonic.
I haven't seen a single person not at the very least just enjoy it.
Yeah.
All you have to do, the only expectation is that it is ultimately a kids movie.
Yeah.
But it's a kids movie that, especially if you have any ties to Sonic from your youth, there are some notes that they hit and some hidden stuff that if you look, you're paying attention. They do a great job of working it in, and I think a lot of that is thanks to bringing on the team that they did Sonic Mania. These are like the biggest Sonic fans on Earth that did all the artwork and the reimagining for Sonic and bringing that up to the 21st century, because Sega themselves just can't seem to fucking do it.
It's a big win for Sega, man. They needed it.
Sega needs to basically hand all that off to that team and say, you take Sonic wherever the fuck you think you need to take Sonic.
Yeah.
Because we can't do it. We haven't been able to do it in a long time.
Yeah.
But it's good that you guys want to do it. We'll pay you to do it.
Yep.
That's what they need to do. Because not only did they save the game franchise, now they saved the movie.
Bro, they're about to save the company.
Yeah. Sega's been on the up and up.
They have been.
But their mascot has been hurting for a hot minute.
Dude, if this becomes a really big thing, man, Sega might just get bought out, dude. Somebody might just come around.
This is a video game movie.
Yeah.
Mario has never had a good video game movie.
Yeah.
Sonic now has a good Sonic movie.
Yeah. Crazy.
So, just to end that off, Sega does what Nintendo don't. It's a classic ad. That was one of the most fire marketing things ever. Sega does what Nintendo don't is just genius. That shit's that's good. Especially for like the 90s marketing.
Dude, 90s marketing was
That
savage
was
back in
fucking
the day,
savage.
bro.
Well, it was like the Wild West.
Yeah, they didn't
have,
give a fuck, bro. They used to just smear other companies
yeah,
like
there's nothing.
like fucking Wendy's does on fucking Twitter. Zero fucks given.
Well, in the States, they're still allowed to call out other companies.
Yeah.
In Canada, you can't
No.
outright call out your competition.
Yeah.
You say the other leading competitors
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
In the States, it's every man for himself.
you got like a fucking Coca-Cola commercial. Fuck Pepsi.
Yeah,
They're a bunch of fucking pansy bitches.
Yeah.
that's what. That's
And
what
if you drink
here
their
in
shit,
Canada-
you're a pansy
here-
bitch too.
Yeah, here in Canada, it's like we love Coca-Cola so much better than our competitors.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's all you can say.
Eh?
Fuck. Mark Hamill is to voice Skeletor in the Netflix's Masters of the Universe animated series,
Well, there you go. Hey, can't go wrong with Mark Hamill.
especially for voice acting.
I just don't fuck around with animated shit.
Neither do I.
I just don't
It's
fuck-
He-Man, right?
Yeah. But hey, it's Mark Hamill. I want to see this man keep working because he never fucks up.
Exactly.
He's just good.
Everything he does,
Yeah, it adds
does well.
It adds quality
And it
to
adds
whatever
value.
project. Exactly.
in
You-
fact, Star Wars, it was the only quality.
yes.
It was literally
Yes.
the only quality. And the last thing I've got here is speaking of Batman from earlier, the Batman screen test and first look of Robert in the suit popped up on YouTube. Did you see it?
It did. Yes, I did.
I would have liked to see maybe just I know it's a teaser.
It's a teaser.
I know it's a teaser, but I mean, there's a teaser, and then that's like
It's just to get you hyped.
That's like seeing Ankle in the year 2020.
It's just getting you hyped.
It's technically a teaser, but I mean, I see ankles all the time.
I thought it looked great. I think he looks great.
I think he looks
I
great.
think he's
in
got
it.
the jawline and everything.
Well, he does. I mean, he's all jaw. He's
Yeah.
one giant jaw and chin.
Yeah, I think he looks good.
I hope the aesthetic that they go for is the Batman Beyond
That's what
aesthetic.
That's what they're. It almost looks like they're going for the Arkham. Looks like they were going for the Arkham. look.
Like the suit for sure.
Yeah, because the bat symbol, it looked like
It's very
it was
mechanically.
Yeah, but I actually think it's made out of the gun that killed his parents.
Yes, yeah.
And he molds it and turns it into
the bat
into the
symbol.
bat symbol.
Yeah, like there's talks that it is very Arkham-y, the
Yeah.
suit. But he's so thin, no matter how much of a.
Dude, there's pictures of him that
I mean,
just
he's definitely put on
he's
weight.
put on some weight.
But he's not going to be a fucking big Batman.
Dude, he's not. We're
not a
literally
big
going
guy.
from Ben Affleck
Yeah.
to Robert.
Yeah. It's
There's
like
a there's a
100-pound difference between those two men.
minimum.
So the Batman Beyond, which is one of my favorite aesthetics for Batman in general, I think works really good for him because Batman Beyond was
Yeah.
a slender
Yeah.
Batman.
Well, and this is more for him to be in his detective work.
Yes,
So
yeah.
from what I'm hearing is it isn't going to be like a Dark Knight.
No.
This is like, a
This is
younger.
This is almost like the Joker version of Batman.
Yeah,
that's
this
coming.
is like he's become Batman.
Yeah.
It's not an origin story by any means,
Yeah.
but it's more doing detective work and fighting crime on a ground level, and doing that.
I like
So,
that they call it just the Batman.
Yes.
I think that's great.
Yes.
That's a strong title, as silly as it sounds. Because people in the series, what they call him, especially the bad guys, they call him the Batman.
They do.
And so yeah, I know. I think it sets the tone for what the movie is. That teaser obviously sets the tone. It's very very like almost noirish.
Yeah.
In how they displayed it, which I think again for his look.
Dude, I'm ready for this.
perfect.
I'm actually ready for this.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, my body's ready.
People are still in the mindset that Robert is just the
There's
dude who
hey,
did.
there's a lot of people that are dude. Robert Pattinson has put out so much amazing
I
shit
still
in the
haven't-
last like 2
I
years.
still haven't seen The Lighthouse, and I need to see The Lighthouse.
Bro, I didn't see it either, but I saw. Did you watch the Kingdom or whatever it is on Netflix? And he plays like the main fucking villain.
I never saw it. Was it good?
Bro, go watch that shit. It's
I'm-
like it's literally, and another guy from Game of Thrones is in it. It's I think he plays like the French king or whatever.
Yeah.
And dude, this guy can fucking act.
Well,
bro.
I've been trying to say that to my chat a few times. We talked about this. Is that people? It was like people think because the movie that made him famous and made him wealthy for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
His net worth just off of those movies $300 million.
Yeah, dude.
He doesn't now. He gets to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yep.
And thankfully for him, he's being allowed to escape that fucking film franchise because he's being given these roles that will show people he can act
Yep.
really well.
Yes.
And he does. And I don't think, the nice thing about this is I don't think that Twilight will be Robert Pattinson's legacy now.
No, dude.
It will be the stuff that has come after that he's made he made his money. Now he can do whatever he wants, and he's going to show people that he's a good actor. And I think this is going to surprise people.
He's going to win an Oscar one day.
Yeah.
That's how good of an actor
100%.
he is. He's going to win 150%. He's going to win an Oscar one day. He's going to win it. He's not quite a Leonardo DiCaprio level actor, but man, he is.
Maybe he's got it in him though.
Dude, he is really, really good, dude. He's really, really good. His acting is the person that and these two actors are very different.
Yeah.
But in terms of like quality acting where you didn't really know that this motherfucker had it in him is Jonah Hill.
Yes.
Jonah Hill can
is a
fucking
hell of a
act,
fucking actor, yes.
and nobody really thinks about it because they think Jonah Hill is the dude from the comedies and the fucking fat kid that all this. This motherfucker can act like a motherfucker,
really fucking well.
And Robert is very. It's very similar where they think of him in one light, but dude, if you actually sat down and watched his films, you're gonna realize that this kid, or not even a kid, this man can act.
Yeah,
this man can act.
Something fierce.
And I know he's gonna crush this shit, bro. He's gonna crush this shit.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
My body's.
When
so
is that
ready.
dropping? Is that this year or next year?
That'll be next year.
Next year sometime?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need to see The Lighthouse. I don't think it's available anywhere that we can easily watch it yet.
Not yet, but it'll come up on the streaming services soon enough.
I'm excited to watch it because the aesthetic of that movie looked fucking dope.
Looks great.
Who's on there? Who's
It's
he with?
it's
not Buscemi.
No,
it's the other. It's fucking
the dude from in Aquaman. Fucking
I can see him in my
Green Goblin.
Oh my god. William Dafoe.
There it is. Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
It's Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The two men famously ugly, but both really fucking good actors. Amazing actors. Man, every time I think of Steve Buscemi now, I think of Boardwalk Empire.
Still haven't seen that.
Oh my dude.
I hear it's fire.
Fucking.
I hear it's fire.
That is a fucking smoke show from beginning to end. Definitely check that out if you ever get the opportunity. Boardwalk Empire is such a good show. That's all I've got for that. You know what time it is?
It's time for tech support.
I like that. There's a little old timey feel.
That's it, man. Somebody need to switch
like
it
that.
up. You need to switch it up. Since we're on year 3.
It's true. Year 3. Wild. Absolutely freaking.
And now we got like a new set.
Wild.
Everything, you know.
That's right.
It's so much easier now, dude. Do you know how much life is easier now that we got this fucking room?
A lot, especially for me. I don't have to spend like 3 hours editing every single podcast. We've hit a small dent in audio quality for an unimaginable.
Ain't nobody noticed. Ain't nobody noticed but Adam. That's the only. That's literally you're the only one.
Just like with my stream quality, I hit the fucking gold
Catalina wine mixer
last night specifically.
I saw your tweet,
dude. That stream, you watch that VOD. I dare you to find somebody that has better quality than me now. I've retained. I used to have a couple years ago. I lost the throne. I'm back on top.
Woo! He's back on top.
For the people that just don't give a fuck, all 45 people watch me play Apex at, like through 2 o'clock in the morning.
Hell yeah.
With another tab, not even watching the stream. That's for them. Super Kami Guru.
What?
You've got the chance to make a video game, but you have to sign with one of the current major game developers at EA, Blizzard, or DICE, etc. What genre of game do you pick, and which developer do you choose? Out of everyone that's in that list right now, I'm going to go with EA, because as shit as EA is, they've had a more recent track record of letting the developers do their own thing, and so I'm going to go EA. And I'm going to go with, as far as a genre, I'm going to go with an action adventure game. I think that action adventure is never a bad idea. It's a safe bet. It's just the extra systems you add on top of it. And there are certain games in that genre that really pop off, like Legend of Zelda owns that shit right now. But Horizon Zero Dawn, which, by the way, is 5 to 10 times better than Breath of the Wild, when that next one pops, that genre of action adventure kind of shit,
Everybody's gonna be making
it's
them
popping
games.
off with it. You're gonna see whenever that's. I think we're in another wave coming in the next 2 years, and so I'd go with an action adventure, and I'd have EA publish it.
I'm gonna go with, man. What are my options for publishers?
Any major publisher, but they list EA, Blizzard, DICE, the usuals. Bethesda would be another one.
I'm gonna go. Fuck. Man. Dude, I'm going horror.
Okay.
I'm going horror.
Okay. Horror.
I'm going horror, and who am I getting to make a horror game? Man.
Or publish it.
Or publish it, yeah.
Horror game
Yeah.
as a publisher.
And I want it to be different, so I wouldn't want to go like
Capcom.
It's just too easy.
Konami would be a pachinko machine.
Yeah, going Capcom would just be another Capcom horror game.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. No, but I can't see that being it either. Man, who would I like to see to make a horror game that would actually do a good horror game? I mean, I don't see EA, although they probably could. Square Enix, no, fuck that. Fuck it. I'm gonna go. No, because they can't make it either. I was gonna say Rockstar.
Yeah.
But Rockstar game. You know what? I'm going with Naughty Dog.
There you go.
I'm going Naughty Dog.
They're already 2 toes in the water on that
I'm going
one.
Naughty Dog,
Yeah.
full-blown horror.
There you go.
There it is.
Boom.
And nobody said it either, so I
Boom.
get that one on myself.
Boom. Good job.
And because I think Naughty Dog would make a good story,
Yeah,
which would
of
hook
course.
you in.
Which would hook you in. Yeah, that's the
Naughty
whole idea.
Dog. There it is. Easy.
Seth asks, "What's the worst AI you've seen in a game?"
StarCraft Brood War.
Dragoons specifically.
Fuck. So bad, bro. It's Jesus take the wheel. You make them.
You really don't know where they're going.
You just click
You
on a
really-
map,
they truly,
and you just pray.
you pray that
It's actually RNG.
you pray it actually goes in the general direction that you clicked.
Yes. I don't think it really. I'm not sure I've ever played an AI that has gone worse than that.
Man, that's.
Is really that bad.
I think that's it.
I'm sticking with it. Brood War.
That's pretty much it.
The original StarCraft.
Specifically for me,
The Dragoon.
Everything else wasn't doable.
terrible. Yeah.
Goliaths got weird sometimes. Vultures got weird sometimes.
That is true. Yeah, Goliaths they were almost like a Dragoon,
Almost
just not
like
as
a
dumb.
Dragoon. They were like 3 IQ points higher than a Dragoon. But yeah, some of the units got a little fucking wild. Let's see here. I don't even know what I would say for this, but I'll ask it anyway. Mark Furry asks, "It's a crazy blizzard outside. All of your loved ones are safe in the house. You reach for blank." This is the answer that we're looking for. "And there is none. This must be fixed, and you go out into the blizzard. What is the thing that makes you leave the house to pick it up? What's the one thing you go out in a blizzard to get if you don't have any in the house?"
Good question. So basically asking what I would risk
To go out into a blizzard
Safety
to,
for.
to get.
to go and get if I reach for it and there's none there.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a basic bitch. Miss Vicky salt and vinegar chips.
There you go.
I'm just going to keep it real.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm just going to keep it real,
That's a
man.
fair assessment.
Because, when the power's out and there ain't nothing, the only thing you can really do is snack and play a board game And if I ain't even got the snack, like the snack helps you cope. It's just, I'm going with some salt and vinegar, Miss Vicky's. I'm heading over to the store to grab a bag. A big bag.
If assuming that I've already got like batteries and shit for like lights, whatnot, so I'm not just sitting in the dark. If we're just talking like a food item or something along those lines, then the one thing that I would eventually force myself to leave the house to go get, it would be milk. I can't live without some cereal at some point in my day. I have to have it. It's a snack at like night. It could be a snack any time of day.
Now, would it be cheating if you said generator? Because then all your problems are gone.
It's probably cheating a bit.
Yeah, they give you a bit
A
of
little
a cheat.
bit. A little bit of a cheat.
A little bit of a cheat.
A little bit.
I'm sticking with my Miss Vicks.
Yeah, that's a good choice too.
But here's the thing, Adam. What happens if you're out of cereal, but you have the milk?
Well, now you're fucked.
Do you go and do it for the cereal, or
100%.
are you okay?
100%. I'd go for the cereal before I went for the milk.
Mm.
I'm just assuming that I just always have so much cereal in the house.
You're just assuming you get the
milk is the shortage.
Yeah.
Milk is the shortage. Lag lawyer, as they say, don't put your gentleman's sausage in crazy. On that note, any crazy ex-girlfriend or crazy person stories?
Girl-wise?
I don't have any crazy ex-girlfriends. I never stuck my dick in crazy. There was only, like I've told the story before, the only really crazy girl I knew was the girl in university that wouldn't leave me the fuck around, grabbing my dick in class and shit.
Sexually harassed you.
Yeah, no, that was it. Everyone else has been pretty well-adjusted individual.
Yeah, I mean, I never really had any. I never really had any crazy girlfriends or girls that I've hung out with. I dated a girl that was older than me for a while, and she knew I was a little bit of a player and stuff. So like, it was like one of these unspoken things where she kind of do what she wanted to do, I kind of do what I wanted to do, but we started spending more and more time together. So she started to get more exclusive, and I was still kind of doing my thing. So she started to get a little crazy. Like she'd message other girls that I would be like hanging out with or be seen with, and she'd like message them on Facebook and be like, "Yo, he's fucking mine," and blah blah blah. He was with me last night, and she'd do like little things like that. But that was more towards the end. She wasn't always like that. That's probably like the craziest ever. And honestly, like a lot of that was because of me. Like, I was just young and stupid and fucking, I added to her
You were the crazy.
I was the crazy.
Yeah.
She was a little bit crazy, but I was probably crazier. So it drove her crazy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I drove her crazy. So
You were the crazy.
yeah. So, but I can't really say I've ever had any wild fucking exes. I've only ever had like two official girlfriends in my life.
Yeah.
My high school sweetheart and Kayla.
Yeah, I'm on 3.
That's it. And, one relationship was like 4 years and another one has been like 11.
I'm not a serial relationshipist.
No. And then I had like, a few months in between where I was like single and got it mingled. But, when you're fucking around and doing that stuff, you're not really in a relationship. So you don't really deal with the crazy. You don't really see the crazy side because you're not around enough.
No. You're there for the sex.
You're there for the sex. That's it.
Volkus asks, opinion on Panic's suitcase PC. I like what he's built there. I don't know, have you seen that on Twitter?
I did.
So he built, this was based on somebody else that did a very similar case in a Pelican case, one of those military grade cases that you can buy for putting electronics in of any kind. And there was a mod for one of the cases that somebody did that turned it into basically a PC case. You put the guts of the PC inside, you mount a monitor into the top half of the case, you close it up like a clamshell, and you've got this carry-on
computer
that you can take anywhere, LAN parties, take with you on the road if you're a streamer and you want to do like some, not super high-end gaming on it, but you can still stream stuff if you want.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
It's a cool idea. It's protected in that Pelican case. It's still not so shock rated that if you drop the fucker, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's still probably going to get a little fucked up.
It's not something you want to throw at the bottom of a plane.
No,
but you're going to want to carry it on with you.
But it's a hell of a lot easier
Yeah.
to carry around, and it's still safe
Yeah.
than versus, just having a regular tower that you're carrying onto a fucking plane with you, which you see some people do.
Yeah.
And so it's really neat from that perspective.
Yeah, it's cool.
It was really cool. And my only other thing I could think of would be to have somebody make up a perforated plexiglass to put over top of the components, which he had considered, but he didn't want to do it himself. He didn't have the tools for it. I'd just pay for somebody to perforate some plexiglass to install over the parts so that, they're at least partially protected.
Yeah.
And it protects the screen as well from puncturing or whatever.
And
that might
shit
happen.
just don't get inside. Like,
Yeah,
you open
exactly.
it and you're
or it's like way harder because it's perforated because you want it to breathe.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not just
It's
all
just
open.
Yeah. No, it's a cool little thing.
It's a cool
I saw a
case.
picture of it.
I love small PC builds. I think they're fucking incredible. I wish I knew how to do water cooling personally so that I could play around and make small builds, small form factor builds. They're really neat. What people are getting away with in these tiny little boxes, putting like full-size processors, 2080 Ti's, big dick systems in this tiny little box.
It's wild.
Which
Dude,
is
wait
nice.
for like 10, 15 years down the road, bro.
Well, 10, 15 years might just be like APUs where it's just like stuff that we have like in here, like a cell phone.
Straight up, you're going to...
Dude, there's the Ryzen's 3400G, which is an APU, so it has the graphics on chip. So you don't need a standalone graphics card. We'll run the Division 2 in 1440p, high like ultra or high settings, at 60 to 70 frames per second.
Damn.
And it's 189 Canadian.
Damn.
Like that. It's not bad. It's only going to get better. So that kind of stuff is great. Imagine that, like somebody who doesn't want to have a lot for their power bill, like a discrete graphics card adds a shitload of fucking cost to your computer, not just in terms of the upfront, but power over time. You get a 65-watt fucking chip in a computer case this fucking big.
Yeah, bro.
And you can play Division 2, 1440p,
Off a toaster.
60 frames or higher. That's a W. Massive W.
That's insane.
Massive W. So yeah, small form factor's fun. Bud Me Boy says, you're on Fear Factor, Jeb. Joe Rogan, Fear Factor.
Okay.
The theme is VR. What's one thing you're terrified of? It's in VR, so however unrealistic you want. Full send.
I'm going bottom of the ocean. Very bottom. We're talking deep. Like dark, deep.
No light.
No nothing. Maybe you got one little light on the top, but you only can see like fucking 2 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you got weird fish and shit that you didn't even know existed. And it's cold.
Are you that guy that if you're swimming in a lake or the ocean and you can't see the bottom that you can't do it?
I'm not going anywhere near it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not going. You open up your eyes in a lake and you look down and
nothing.
You
see the first like 5 feet.
And then it's just darkness.
Yeah.
And then if you go down a little bit, it just gets cold. You're like, nah, bro. I'm getting the fuck out of whatever this is. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
No, that's where I'm not going.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have any like phobias or fears like that. I don't know what it would be. I suspect that I have like, I don't have like. I say the closest thing to it's not even a phobia, but the closest thing to a fear I have is heights, but heights in a way where there's a risk of falling from heights.
Yeah.
So not just the act of being high, but actually like
you're on a tightrope on a mountain.
Like you're on the edge of you're on a small path along the edge, and there's like a 300-foot drop.
Yeah.
Like anyone.
Yeah, it just gives me anxiety watching this shit. Yeah, it's like, nah.
like that.
Yeah,
that would be it. So you put me in VR in that kind of environment. Yeah, actually, my cousin Kayla and her husband just got back from climbing Kilimanjaro.
Nah, I'm good. Nah, there's a lot of things that I would love to do on my free time.
The last part of that hike, you sleep for 3 hours the night before. You get up when it's still nighttime because it's an 8-hour hike to finish the last part of it. And you're only there for 20 minutes because you need the daylight to go back down. So you do like this 3 to 4 day hike. The last hike, 8 hours on 3 hours of sleep. You got like oxygen deprivation, so you have altitude sickness. You get up there, you're there for 20 minutes, and you turn around and you come back down.
Nah. I'd be like, hey, guys, I'm going to wait at the bottom of this mountain
Have
at a
fun.
hotel.
Have fun.
Let me know when you're back. If you
Yeah.
don't make it, I'll send help.
Yeah. Forgot it's on my phone now. Oh, Volkus asks, I can tell you I did not. Did you hear about the podcasters in a Tesla Model 3 that are trying to do a 3-day run from British Columbia to here? They leave Sunday and expect to be at Point Pleasant Park on Wednesday or Thursday, the latest.
They're going to do the country in 3 days?
Yeah.
Isn't it like a 5-day drive?
I have no idea how the fuck they're going to do that.
In a Tesla, too? Don't
In
you
a
got to like
Tesla
charge
3.
the fucking battery and shit?
Yeah, but they've got stations across the country now.
Yeah, but I mean, how can you even stop and wait? Like, you got to go.
Well, a charging
speed.
station, I think is only like, what is it, like an hour?
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Better not hit
and
traffic.
If it's long range, I think the 3 does like 600 and something, like 600 kilometers or.
How many speeding tickets are these guys going to get, man? There's no way they're doing it going the fucking speed limit. It's
I don't
actually
know.
impossible.
They're doing it in the wintertime.
Yeah, that is well.
What the fuck?
All right. Godspeed.
Good luck.
See you in 4 or 5 days.
8 9 10 asks, what is the best VR headset out right now? Do you foresee anything big for VR in 2020? The best VR headset right now is I believe the top end Valve stuff, or the top not Oculus, but
The Vive?
The Vive. Those would be your high end, or that's your high end. Then you have the Oculus that's like nested somewhere real close, and then you get everything else. Doesn't matter.
PlayStation and stuff.
Yeah. So, do I see anything big in 2020 for it?
No.
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 Do I see anything big in 2021?
No.
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 Do I see anything big for VR in the next 5 years?
Probably not.
No. Do I see VR being a forever niche that does just well enough to continue to put some money into research to make the VR headsets a bit better and more affordable?
Yes.
Sure. And that's about it.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
What is Ryan Wingate asks, what is your favorite moment in a game that made you stop and go, I'm going to channel my inner Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow. A wow moment in gaming. Man, the fact that I actually can't think of one, it's not a good.
I've got a couple. I'd say my first major wow moment that I can remember actually being truly blown away, Final Fantasy VIII's opening cutscene with the fight between Squall and what's his face?
Mm-hmm.
His name is escaping me right now.
Wow.
That was one. The one following that was opening to Morrowind, going out to the top side of the boat, seeing the water and how fucking dope that looked. And then when you leave the office and a pop-up screen literally pauses the game and says, "You're on your own. Good luck."
Wow.
And then a more recent one would probably be Horizon Zero Dawn. Just that game in general made me say, wow.
Jeez, man, I'm so cynical.
Sephiroth, that's his name.
I can't think of many. I mean, sure, there's a lot of wow moments that I've had, but I think like groundbreaking moments would be like, the first time that I played Mario 64, and at the beginning of the game, you can move, you can take his face, and you can move like, his mouth and nose,
the nose
and, you can move
and all that stuff. Yeah,
that was wow for me.
Wow,
That's cool.
Wow.
And you know what? Truly, probably the most wow I've ever been in a video game ever was the first time I got into a Starcraft 2 game. And I played the demo, and I booted it up because it had been years since I played original StarCraft, and I'd gotten the beta. Sorry, not demo, the beta. And I got into a StarCraft game, and I saw the graphics and the way it looked and the way it just put me right back to where I was when I was a 14, 15, 16-year-old, and it was a literal wow. I actually couldn't I couldn't even. It was everything I ever dreamed of.
I had one other really big wow moment as well. Wow. It was you were so fucking jazzed for StarCraft 2.
Bro.
Where you literally did nothing but talk about StarCraft 2.
And the worst part about it is I had just built a computer.
Yeah.
And one of the memory sticks was dead.
Yeah.
And every other game, it would just blue screen me.
Yep.
And it wasn't until you were like, yo, try taking out one of the sticks for each one and see which one it is. And then eventually I found it out when I fixed it. Wow.
2.0.
Wow.
I remember playing Ocarina of Time, and when you leave the village for the first time, and you go out and
forest.
You finish talking to the owl, which doesn't shut the fuck up, and then you take that first steps out into Hyrule Field, and the music comes up.
It's all open.
And just everything up to that point was so. The opening to that game is like fucking perfect. Everything about that game is that opening game part
it's
of
a
that
good
game
little build-up.
is such a great build-up to the release to going out to the field, especially when you
feels
consider
like you're going on an adventure.
Well, it was even more poignant because it was the first 3D Zelda game, and during the N64 where everything was becoming open 3D, the fact that Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time were done so fucking well for the first soiree, the first venturing out into 3D open world games.
Wow.
Big fucking wow. Big fucking wow.
Wow.
For sure. Yeah, that's a good question. I like that question. Joshua asks and based on his last name, he might actually also be Korean. The movie Parasite is the first foreign film to win 4 Oscars. I mean, they crushed it. They took.
Did you watch it yet?
No, I haven't had a way to watch it yet. But both of Em and I are waiting for it to happen so we can watch it.
I have it on Plex. Kayla and I watched it.
Yeah, it's fire.
Wow. Bro, the movie is. Wow. It's one of the few films that is so hyped up that you're like, it can't be this good.
But it didn't.
Wow.
Okay. Will you guys watch and do a review
movies and
TV? Okay. So
I'll wait till you guys see it.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it when I see it.
It's something else, bro.
Yeah.
And it's subtitled, and I don't even care.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking dope.
Let's see. Veresia. It's a fancy name and logo. I've been watching you guys since 2014. Finally got my broke-ass a job to help with my crippling student debt and to help support you guys.
Hey!
Thank you for somehow having us second on that list.
Hell yeah. It's the way it should be.
You can't even say that without laughing. Student debt, lag TV. Food, third.
Children.
Housing.
Yeah.
A blanket. I'm sorry if this question's been asked before. What kind of students were you two? Yes, the university and stuff. What kind of students were we?
High school, average. So I would say probably like my average grade was probably a C. Struggled in math because I didn't care about it, but took advanced English classes, believe it or not, and did really well. I was an average student, and it wasn't because I was stupid. I just didn't apply myself to I just didn't really care about school all that much. It was like I did what I had to do, and then the classes I didn't give a fuck about, like history and math, I just did enough to pass.
It sounds like you needed some teachers that made you more interested in those subjects, because so much early in life is the moment you have one bad experience with a subject, with a teacher.
Yeah.
You don't just write it off as being the teacher when you're young. You just associate it with fuck that entire subject.
Yeah.
Like math
Yeah.
is the first one that everyone almost says,
Fuck it.
math.
Yeah.
And it's usually because they had a teacher that just wasn't good at teaching math.
A teacher that was like, fuck math.
Was also saying fuck math.
Yeah.
So, that makes sense.
And I dropped out of university, so and it was just because I literally just partied.
Yeah.
So I didn't even
Party hard.
I just partied.
Shitting on the walls and everything.
That was it.
Party everywhere. I'm Wonder Bread. If you could characterize me as one thing, I'm actually a fresh. Well, I'm not fresh anymore. I'm like a 7-day-old bag of Wonder Bread. That's me. If there was a cartoon about Adam Morehouse, it would be a cartoon centered around a character that is a 7-day-old loaf of Wonder Bread. Still usable, but probably more for stuffing in a turkey than actually eating with for a sandwich or some toast. But also super fucking bland.
Just bland.
Just
It's Wonder
bland.
Bread.
It's Wonder Bread. It does the job,
Mm-hmm.
but it's Wonder Bread. That's me. And that describes my life in school. I always took school seriously. Not as seriously as I could have, but I took it seriously enough. I took it seriously insofar as that it was always part of my identity that if I didn't do well in school, then that was bad. And so I always tried to have some level of academic success. That started in like fucking elementary school. My mindset was that. And it wasn't that my parents did that. That just ended up being how it was for whatever fucking reason. So that was me the whole way through. High school, I had a really shitty math teacher that I ended up having to actually take math outside of high school to then take grade 12 math a second time because I took advanced 11 in 11 and 12 in my grade 11 year. And then I had to go back in grade 12 and do math again to get my grade up for scholarships because my teacher teachers in grade 11 for math were fucking atrocious. The high school teachers at J.L. Ilsley
Bad.
for math were categorically fucking awful. We had a girl that needed to get married and laid desperately, and we had the fucking KFC Colonel Sanders. So there were two choices. Neither of them wanted to be math teachers.
I want some chicken.
Neither of them wanted to be teachers in general, and they sure shit didn't want to teach math, and even if they did, they should have never taught math in the first place.
Perfect.
Fucking awful. So I go outside, get that, I redo it in 12, I get whatever. University, I almost fucked up my first year. I almost lost my scholarship. Because in high school and previously, I took stuff seriously, but I also didn't need to study that much in order to get good grades. So I knew exactly how much I needed to study to get like a 85 to 90%, and that was the show. So I had terrible studying habits. I had never developed studying habits at all. When you get to university, there's no such thing as not having studying habits.
You better study.
You better learn how to study real quick. And so in my first year, I literally hit the exact GPA amount that I needed to keep my scholarship. I almost lost it. I needed an A- average, and I had a couple classes that pulled me down to I had exactly 3.67, which was the exact fucking mark I needed to keep my academic scholarship.
Sweating.
So after
Sweating
that,
during that report.
I learned real quick how to study. And then that changed from there. And then after that, so I was Wonder Bread and took school seriously. I had Dean's List all 4 years. And I graduated with 3.84. And it should have been a 3.85, but that's a story I've told several times before.
Weird flex, bro.
Fuck that first grade bird course religious studies fuck. That can't even look me in the eye anymore because he knows he fucked it. He fucked me at a magna cum laude. That motherfucker. I'd have a paper at home that says magna fucking cum laude. I didn't want summa. Summa's for like the Asians. I knew I was never getting over 4.0. That's for Hun. Hun got summa. I just wanted magna, but I didn't even get that. 3.84. But I did okay.
Hey.
It's like top 8%.
I just dropped out.
Well, look what it did for me.
Hey.
If I hadn't done this and I probably went to Toronto, I would have done wonders.
You'd have been
a lot
pretty
more wealthy than I am
You'd have been
now.
pretty good. On a bright note, you got a degree.
I do. I have one.
And it means you could get a job if
At
you
any
want
time.
At any time. You could say, Jeff, I'm done.
But then I'd have to work for somebody else.
And then you're going to
hate
realize
that
to go, hey,
shit.
Jeff, Thursday at 4 p.m.
I'm back.
I'll be there.
This life. Fucking life. So you go, Wonder Bread.
Is that it?
That was me. We got one more,
All right.
and that's it. Oh, let's see. Blue Gree asks, what specific goal in your life have you worked the hardest for? Did you succeed? Specifically, as in, I want to get an A in this hard class. Wow, this is topical. Rather than I want to do well in school. Thoughts on discipline and motivation in general. My biggest goal was Dean's List all 4 years and magna cum laude. I tell myself that I did it because it was really the religious studies teacher that didn't take my paper when I had 103-degree fever and I couldn't drive in to drop the paper off, and he wouldn't take an electronic copy. Go fuck yourself. Not very godly. I hit my goal. I had to bust my ass in university. I didn't bust my ass in high school. I coasted my sweet sorry ass through high school because I didn't need to do much work to do well. I was lucky in that regard. University, I busted my white pimply ass for all 4 years, and now my name is on a wall somewhere in St. Mary's 4 times for being on the Dean's List all 4 years. And I got the grade point exactly where I wanted it to be. So I hit that, and that was the hardest thing I ever worked for to that point. Now, my next phase is where I'm going to be taking this career. The podcast I already take seriously, but it will be doing game reviews and spinning that off into something as a not a YouTuber, but a content creator in that space. I think I've got what it takes. I think I do it better than most people, and I'm excited to go balls deep here pretty soon and just go wild. The website is looking fire. It's running fire. The video reviews are going to be fire. There's going to be the podcast versions of all the audio for all the reviews. Watch, read, listen to every review that I write.
Boom.
It's fire, and it's coming, and I'm excited to hop on that. As far as discipline goes, we talked about it with Ninja shit. Ninja didn't have the wrong idea entirely. His application was dog shit.
Yeah.
But the idea is there. The idea in life is to when he says never settle, it's okay to settle in some areas, but you want to have some sort of goal in front of you at all times so that you keep working forward. Because the moment that you stop striving for something entirely, so as long as you're striving for something at any point in your life, it doesn't have to be your career. It could be a hobby. It could be anything that you're trying to further yourself in. Maybe you're trying to learn another language. Anything. The moment you stop doing that and you just wake up and do the same shit every day and not put anything in anymore, your health will literally go downhill. There's something about the human condition that rests upon a foundation of work and working towards and accomplishing something and seeing a result, a positive result. There's something there. And it carries over in relationships as well. You see it with older people as soon as it doesn't sound like it would be the same idea, but it's a similar thing within the human condition. You have a man and a wife who've been married for 50 years, and they're in an old folks' home together, and they're both talkative, dementia's not really there, everything's fine, as much as they can for being 80 years old. One passes away, the other one's gone in 6 months.
Yep.
From being perfectly healthy to dead in 6 months.
Yeah.
There is something, there are intangible things about the human mind that are linked to things.
Yeah.
And
you need purpose.
Working towards something and having some sort of purpose is one of those things. So as long as you have that in any part of your life, that's the important thing. You don't need to kill yourself to do it. Just always make sure that you have something that you're working towards. And my philosophy for that is people talk about comfort zones and how most real success happens when you step outside of your comfort zone.
Yep.
But the challenge is to find out how far you can put yourself outside of your comfort zone before it becomes detrimental. Some people will preach to go way outside your comfort zone. Fucking jump out of a plane. Okay, maybe no. Okay?
I'll pass on that.
That's a pass for me.
Yeah, it's a big nope.
All you have to do is get a little bit outside your comfort zone. As long as you're 1 foot outside of it, and then that zone gets a little bit bigger, and then you take one more little step outside your comfort zone. You don't need to start in a circle that's small and then leap fucking way the hell outside your comfort zone and do something that makes you super uncomfortable, because then it makes you frightened to do that ever again. You might survive that, but then the next time when the opportunity arises, you go, I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
But if you just take that one small step outside of it every time, build yourself, that is the link to the goal setting that I always preach for people.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. What's the question?
The question was, just to reiterate, what specific goal in your life have you worked the hardest for? So that was the start. and then the back half of that is thoughts on discipline and motivation in general, which is where I took that after I talked about my spiel.
So the thing that I'm most proud of, like an accomplishment, is that what the question
That
was?
was the first half, and the second half was just talking about motivation and discipline in general.
I would say if you had asked me that question a year ago, it'd be different. But since my son's here now, I'm going to say my proudest accomplishment is, well, obviously having my boy, but if I had to go beyond that, it's having my boy and not having to worry about taking care of him.
Mm-hmm.
So just having the means, like giving him the best chance for success possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's probably my biggest accomplishment. There's no better feeling than having a child and not having to, there's worry, but I mean not having to worry about paying for diapers or making sure he's eating right, or being able to have my wife be a stay-at-home mom to be here and raise him and not have somebody else do that part for us. That's my biggest accomplishment by far. If you would have asked me a year ago before he showed up, I would have said like, I don't even know what I would have said. Like just straight up independence, like just being my own man, being a self-made individual.
Yeah.
So that's what I would have said before. As for what was the second half?
General comments on motivation and discipline in general.
Yeah, for me, the biggest thing is, it's going to sound weird, but fear. Fear is a very big motivator for me, and I'm not talking about like I'm scared of the boogeyman. It's more of like I'm afraid to lose what I've worked so hard to obtain, or the fear of failure. So, for example, I do what Adam says, where I put myself in an uncomfortable position when I start to get too comfortable. You know, when I start to get too comfortable, I no longer feel like I have that purpose. I don't feel like I'm progressing anymore. And when I'm not progressing, I'm not happy. Like I'm not. There's a lot of things in life that should make me happy, like, you know, having a great wife and a son, and those things do make me happy. But even if I have those things and I know they're there, I'll still be unhappy within myself.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm not progressing and moving forward to some sort of goal
Somewhere.
So what I do constantly, and I've realized I've done this, is I always put myself in a do or die position. So for example, like, you know, for example, when I bought this house, you know, I buy this house and I go, shit, you know, now I got to pay for this thing, right? So now I know I got to at least work real fucking hard for the next few years to offset what I just put myself into. And that's not a bad thing, because I was getting comfortable. Like, you know, if I lost a big chunk of my yearly income, it wasn't like, it wouldn't murder me. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. Now, if I do it, it's like, oh fuck, you know, Jesus, I can't slack. You know what I mean? Like I can to a degree, but you know what I mean? I can't get too complacent. So I always do these things to myself where I'm pushing it. Just like, you know, now I'm grabbing another rental property and I'm adding more to the plate, but I do that because it gives me something to sink my teeth in and grow and work towards. If I stop, man, I actually have no idea how I'm eventually going to retire, because I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with myself. So I got to figure that out. And hopefully as I get older and my son gets older, a different perspective will come and the things that...
You get a little while to worry, you know, for that to
exactly
pan itself out.
Exactly, right? Yeah. But that's just me. I just worry. That's the fear, right?
Well, I mean, and nobody should ever just stop entirely. You know, when you retire, all that means is that hopefully you get to retire from what you do to make your money.
Yeah.
Then it's you get to continue to challenge yourself is the important part. The difference is that you don't have to do it just for the
For money,
You're
yeah.
doing it for the challenge,
Yeah.
and that's the difference. So I don't think you're going to have any problems.
Yeah.
It'll just mean that at the other end, you'll get to choose what you're doing and not have to do it on the pretense of there being a monetary reward. Maybe you just want to do that thing, and it's challenging you,
Yeah.
and so you'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between retiring and just stopping life,
Yep.
and retiring and then continuing to challenge yourself. Just you don't have to do it to keep
Yeah.
bread on the table.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd love to retire by 40. That'd be the dream.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're still a long ways away from
There's
that.
no
man.
real reason for that to happen.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, for me, it would just be like having to fucking work. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and work the way I do.
yeah.
A retirement to me would be like working when I want to,
Yeah.
doing passion projects,
Yeah.
doing other shit. Not
Yes,
like,
exactly, yeah.
not having to go, fuck, I need to grind
Yeah.
60, 70 hours a week to make ends meet and to further myself. It'd be nice to get to a point in like 7, 8 years where I'm going, okay, you know what? If I don't want to grind for a couple months, I can do that and I can
exactly.
go work on me, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
do some shit, right?
Absolutely,
That's
yeah.
retirement in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because I'd still want to work until I'm,
Yeah, and the thing, I'll liken it to this, is that it's kind of similar to, in strength training, there are like several different ways, several different methodologies that people use to get stronger over time when your body plateaus.
Mm-hmm.
So there's several different methodologies. I've always used the oldest. I didn't even realize I was doing it until I learned about all the different strength training methodologies. That I was inherently doing it one of the oldest ways, which and still one of the most effective ways for general strength is. A lot of people today will do a thing called progressive overload, right? Where they do every time they're going to the gym, they're adding like 3 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever, until they hit a wall, right? And your body can only take so much of that before it will literally just say,
hit a wall. I can't do this.
you're done.
Literally.
And so you have to like almost do a hard reset and then go up again. That's a really popular one right now. But the whole concept with the goal setting, I take that as being closer to jumping too far outside your comfort zone. It's like every time you get in the gym, it's like I'm going to add another 10 pounds of a bench press. When I did weightlifting and what I'll do again when I get back into it, because like we said before, you can't be bald and skinny.
That's right.
I would always lift like 60 to 75% of my max for all my sets. And I would choose a weight that hit me there so I could do 3 sets, 10 reps, every exercise. And I'd get to that number, even if it took me longer than a set. Like if I had to take a break, I'd go back to get to the 10. Like it didn't matter. I was doing a set number of reps no matter what that day. I would do that and I'd stay at the exact same weight on every fucking exercise until it got so easy that it wasn't a challenge to get through 10 anymore. There was so much more in the tank. Then I would move up and I'd make a relatively large leap. And there's a term for it, but it's almost like you think of it like a staircase. So you're on the tread, and then you get the riser. And it's a straight line because you jack it up and you go again. So like if I was doing curls, start at 30 pounds and I'd do it for like 3 months at 30 pounds. And it gets to the point where I could do like 20 reps with 30 pounds, just cranking them out, right? Easy as fuck. And I'd just jump from there, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. And it helps stop you from plateauing so easily, and it builds endurance at the same time. If you just like build like weight constantly, it's not the same thing. When you do that with goal setting, it's similar. Like you mentioned, the reason I thought of this is you mentioned it like when you felt yourself getting comfortable. That's the same idea in the gym. When you feel yourself is too easy, now's the time to move on up.
Yeah.
But don't just keep fucking doing it. You'll burn yourself out. Don't just keep on that the whole time.
Yeah.
Get uncomfortable and then master that level.
Get comfortable in that new
on that
position.
new position.
And then
when
get
you
uncomfortable again.
Get uncomfortable again and then master that next step. And think of it like a staircase and just keep fucking walking that staircase.
I like that. That's
Instead of the other way, it's like a fucking ladder. And you're going straight
And
up the
it's
whole
constant.
time, and it's constant.
Tiring.
There is no flat.
There's no
it's
break.
Just straight uphill
Yeah.
the whole time. And it's I think it's the healthiest way to tackle it. I think that it's a way of making sure that you don't burn out, and then you lose the mindset of wanting to set goals because you get scared of setting goals because of it's too daunting to even think about. And master where you're at and then move on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Technical Alpha Podcast.
Bam.
I said we weren't going to do 3.5 hours, but we did 2 hours, 56 minutes.
Fuck. Man, we talk too much.
And yet, 3 years deep, we still got it in the tank, bro.
I don't know how it happens. I actually don't know how it happens.
We must have repeated ourselves a few times.
Oh, 100%, just in different ways.
Yeah.
Just in different ways. But we're getting older, too. You got to understand, dude, we've lived like 10 years since we started this. There's a lot of new shit that has come up and changed in 10 years.
That's true.
It's a lot of time, man. We're not young bucks anymore.
I'd like to not have to think about that.
We're really not.
But we're not.
We're really fucking not, bro. You see how fast these 3 years went for the podcast?
It's only going to get faster.
Bro, like another 3 years, my son would be running down here, opening up the door. Yo, Daddy, you almost done.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about turning 40. All right? Just let that sink in.
No, thank you. I'll pass. I'll let that sink in another day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by. Patreon.com/LagTV. Go there and join in if you want to help support. $10 an hour gets you into the ability to be able to ask us those questions for tech support like we were just answering there. And, of course, other perks as well. We'll be changing up those perk tiers, but that kind of stuff will stay where it's at. So you'll always get your rewards for that. And, of course, the physical merch will get out in waves. We just do it in waves because
it's easier.
It's easier and easier on the post office, so they literally don't start denying me access to the post office. Thank you so much, guys. Once again, we'll see you guys next week for another Technical Alpha Podcast. And until then, peace.
Peace.